To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing in them. Romeo, oh Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?
Juliet, the woman doth protest too much, methinks. But by the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
These violent delights have violent ends.
Hell is empty, and all the devils are here. And you are here tonight to witness what happens when fools tread on scripts. Here tonight, can your heart stand the terror of scripts gone wild?
End of the show.
End of the show. We're done.
Good night, everybody.
That was really good. The end.
Are we live now?
I'm not even drunk. It's the weirdest thing.
Oh, we are live. Okay. Hi, everybody.
I can't see anybody, but we're gonna go. It'll be fine.
Welcome to Scripts Gone Wild. Our excuse to let Dave Lawson drink until he cracks his head open, and yes, that actually happened once. I am your host, Billy Ray Bruton, and with me, as always, is the aforementioned Dave Lawson, who we cannot see. But Dave, are you there? How the hell are you?
Oh man, if you could see me now, you would be so happy. Since we haven't gotten to do a League of Their Own, I brought out my Stillwell Angel outfit.
What?
Oh, I can see it in the CFF square. I can see you dressed like a fanciful sailor.
You are a damn fool.
Way to go, Dave. So
Yeah,
Chris Dortch, do we have you there too?
I am here. I have just joined, and I am sorry for holding up this party.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's your
Welcome. So guys, tonight is epic. We are back home at the Chattanooga Film Festival, where Scripts Gone Wild began back in 2017 with Carl Reiner's Summer School. We even have some folks who were there for that very first reading, which is also really cool. CFF is super important to us, and we couldn't be happier to help them present their very first virtual edition with the fantastic help of Microsoft. So right now, before we do anything else, we're going to tell you that you need to consider making a donation to CFF. And you can do that right on your little portal there where you watch movies at. There's a donate to CFF thing. And you can also go to chatfilmfest.org/donate and do it there. You should do that and make sure that Chat Film Fest keeps doing what it does best, which is kicking ass and giving you great entertainment.
Oh, you're
Billy
nice.
Ray,
Thank you.
Billy Ray, I know this isn't an official event. However, I did have the Scripts Gone Wild graphics department work something up very special. They spent a lot of time on this.
Is it macaroni art?
No.
Fuck. I'm disappointed.
Dave, we can barely see that, but I know the people at home can see it, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. So, just go to this. There's a whole lot going on here. I'll leave it up so people can unpack it at their leisure. But go to the Chattanooga Film Donate. Like Billy Ray said, this is a festival that holds a special place in our heart. It was the birthplace of Scripts Gone Wild, where I got to play Wonder Mutt.
Oh God!
And I licked Chris Dortch's face like 50 times, and somehow
I talk about it every week in therapy.
Tonight, guys, we are reading maybe the greatest, if not one of the greatest horror films ever made, The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing, and we have assembled an incredible cast for that purpose, and I'm going to introduce them to you now. Just, say hey to the folks when I call your name. Of course, reading McCready, we've got Barbara Crampton. We got Tracie Thoms.
So funny. What's up? Yay!
Caroline Williams.
Yay!
Chris Cargill.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Drew McWeeny.
Yeah.
Brea Grant.
Hey,
Brea.
Tiffany Shepis. Barrett.
Amazing. Cheers. Cheers.
That's real.
Hello.
Graham Skipper.
Boo. Boo.
Hey.
Rico Anderson.
Yeah.
Hey.
Izzy Lee.
Hey.
The founder and programmer of
Can you
Chattanooga
guys
Film
see
Festival,
everything?
Chris Dortch.
Yeah, Chris.
Don't you waste your claps on me.
And also joining us because occasionally we have folks who don't drink, and that's perfectly awesome. We like having non-drinkers just as much as the drinkers. And we have one tonight. So the designated drinker for Caroline Williams, Alexis Icono.
Here's a fun thing. I told Carolyn just to mess up as much as she could because I think it's going to be funny to watch.
I
You'll
told
be
her-
hospitalized, man.
I
By
told-
the end
I
of the
told her,
night,
so what-
yeah.
I told her, I
Don't
said,
even
whatever
read
resentment you have, here we go.
Yeah. Hey,
guys,
just
I'm gonna give-
everybody, if you want to, real quick before we jump into this, there should be a way for you to look at the MediaKind feed if you go into the gallery so you can see everything.
Media team, David. Jesus.
I would
Jesus.
yell that by the voice of God if people can't hear that.
We see you now, Dave. We see you now.
I'm going to eat this burrito.
Dave on the media team.
So, guys, I'm going to give everybody the rules really quickly. Scripts Gone Wild is a drinking game. If you miss a cue or flub a line, you have to take a drink. We also have something that we call social words, which when those words are chosen, anytime a reader reads that word aloud in the script, everybody has to take a drink. And we're doing something a little different for this read. We usually have 2 social words. We're only going to have 1 social word for this one.
Oh, you're being
But
so
it's got-
nice to them, Billy Ray. Why are you being so
but
nice to them?
There's a catch to it.
No, I don't trust
That
Always a
word is thing,
Oh, Jesus.
but it's any context. So that includes
Oh,
anything, something,
Something.
You're
Oh,
trying
Nothing.
to kill us.
things.
oh my God.
If it's got thing in it, it counts
So-
as the word.
I'm
Everything's
gonna
gonna
have
be
Alexis
okay.
be my designated as well.
We also have something that's called a finish your drink line. When we get to this line in the script, whatever you have left in your drink, you finish it. Whether it's a
Yeah, that's
fresh
right. You
pour,
better finish it. I swear to God, you better finish it.
that's the CFF demon. His name is Beelzebubs.
That's Bubs. You can just call him Bubs. That's what
Bubs
we
the
call him.
demons. So, guys, here's the line for tonight. I know you gentlemen have been through a lot, but when you find the time, I'd rather not spend the rest of this winter tied to this fucking
This
couch.
fucking cow.
Yes.
So when we get to that line, everybody finishes whatever drink is in their hand.
Great.
Ugh.
It's a good thing it's towards the end.
Does anyone have any questions for Dave or I?
I have questions.
Dave, go ahead.
Why am I wearing a sailor's outfit right now?
I've been asking myself
What if I
that
know?
question since this began.
Whoa.
Very hairy sailors.
And also, where did you find a sailor costume during the pandemic? Did you
Are you
have
in
it
Brooklyn
already?
right
Did
now?
you rent it? Is it sanitary?
He
You
owned
know.
it outright. He's had it for
I
months.
stole it from
You're right.
a little boy and reverse shrunk it.
I'm sorry I asked.
It looks great, Dave. We all think so.
Thanks, Bubs.
Okay, guys. Is everybody ready?
Ready as always.
Good to go.
Then
Right.
crank your air conditioners down as low as they'll go. Put some ice packs under your ass because it's time to read The Thing.
Woo!
A starry blackness. From out of the billions, the smallest of specks drives slowly forward. It closes, getting larger, its features becoming more identifiable. A vessel, flip-flopping out of control, its stern roaring with flame. It passes, its blue fire surging into screen. The Thing. A blind and feral whiteness, glacial desert, gusts of snow, Antarctica, 1982, winter. A helicopter streaks across flame. God damn, already.
Whoa.
It travels precariously close to the ground, its chassis battered and swayed by the wind. Red dials beam on the faces of 2 men. One carries a rifle and searches the horizon with binoculars, the other pilots. Their unkempt faces, their blazing eyes notate a wildness. They bark at each other in some Scandinavian tongue, and 2 men arguing like mad and desperate children. The man with binoculars sees something. It turns and snarls at the craft some 1,500 yards to its rear, then whirls and gallops off. A gun blast kicks up snow at its heels. Another blast of rifle fire as the man takes issue with his prey. The pilot slams a fist into his gunman friend and implores for better aim, and the craft swoops lower and the engine is put into full throttle. The dog, running feverishly up and over a hill of ice. A weather-beaten wooden sign sticks up on the other side. U.S. National Science Foundation, Outpost Number 31. A rifle blast. A large, almost snow-covered building, not far from that, a tall meteorological balloon tower, a scattering of several small shacks. The smaller hovels are connected by wooden planked walkways and steadying ropes. A tractor and 2 helicopters sit idle, covered with mounds of continuously mounting snow. 2 men, Norris and Bennings, standing some 30 yards from the main building, are in the process of letting up a large red balloon. Childs, a hefty black man, is 20 yards away, tinkering with a snowmobile. Their beards are caked with ice. It is winter, and it is harsh. The copter, flying even lower now, the man with the gun leans dangerously outside and fires away at the dog as it nears the outpost. The men outside the compound look to one another, incredulous. The copter, much too low now and chastised by the wind, attempts a high-speed landing. A third bounce sends it skidding. It flips, its blades snapping off like toothpicks. It lands belly up, soundless, except for the whine of its engine. Main compound. The half a dozen men playing cards, monitoring equipment, listening to music, spring to their feet, startled. The dog reaches Norris and Bennings as they awkwardly wade through the snow towards the downed copter. The survivor of the crash, his eyes crazed with determination, struggles to his feet. Heedless of his companion, he double times his way to the men and the dog. He reloads his gun and bellows in his Scandinavian tongue. Norris and Bennings have no idea what he is saying. The survivor waves his arms as if shooting them off, screaming as he does so. The 2 men are bewildered. The dog jumps up, licking and pawing him. Blam! The visitor fires. The men jump back in disbelief.
What the fuck?
Blam! Blam! The crazed visitor screams and fires as he stalks after them, his countenance ablaze mad. Ice and snow kick up about the terrified Americans, and a bullet smacks into the dog's hip, sending it skidding and howling in pain. Childs, the black man by the snowmobile, takes cover, diving behind his machine. Bennings is hit. Norris pulls, drags him back towards the compound, and the dog crawls along beside them. The intruder is relentless in his assail. Total confusion. Close on a .357 Magnum as it efficiently breaks through a window pane and into the cold. The Scandinavian getting closer. Kablam! Suddenly his head jerks back and he falls to his knees, his face down in the snow. Norris and Bennings stare blankly but relieved at the fallen man. Childs pokes his head out from the snowmobile. In the main compound, the rumbling of voices fade and the men adjust their eyes to station manager Gary as he extracts his gun from the broken window. The burning copter, several men spray snow on it. In the compound, a neat round hole is set in the middle of the forehead. Station manager Gary holds up something akin to an ID.
Norwegian. Jans Bolin?
Fuchs, a young and sensitive-looking biologist, stands closest to the large area map of Antarctica.
Gotta be from the Norwegian camp.
How far's that?
About 80 kilos southwest.
That far?
Gary directs his attention to Childs, who has been working on the snowmobile. Next to him sits Norris.
You catch anything he was saying?
Am I starting to look Norwegian to you, Buana?
Yeah, I caught that he wanted the better part of my ass to come apart.
Infirmary. Dr. Copper, mid-40s, works on the outstretched leg of Bennings, the meteorologist. Clark, the dog handler, is mending the hip of the wounded dog off in the corner. Benning lets out with an ouch.
Don't ouch me. 2 stitches, it just grazed ya, you bitch. Oh,
What the hell are they doing? I am that low. Shooting at dog. Shooting at us.
stir crazy, cabin fever, who knows?
Clark?
I'll be here a while. Shell's pretty deep.
He was
Blair.
doing a dramatic pause, Billy Ray. Just let her fucking act. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Drink.
I'm a 1,000-yard stare, motherfucker. I'm in the shit.
Radio room. Blair, senior biologist, 50, balding, leans against the entrance door. He looks on as the young, bored-looking radio operator Sanchez attends to his equipment.
It's no go.
We'll get to somebody. Anybody. We got to report this mess.
Look, I haven't been able to reach shit in 2 weeks. Doubt if anybody's talked to anybody on the whole continent.
Hallway. Niles, the cook, glides along on the roller skates down one of the many narrow hallways that connect the various compartments. He comes to a flashy skidding stop at one of the entrances to the rec room area.
Maybe we had war and was Norway.
Palmer, a spacey 27-year-old novice pilot mechanic, grins as he lights a joint.
Nobody likes
I was wondering when El Capitan was going to get a chance to use his pop gun.
How long have they been stationed here?
Says here about 8 weeks.
Dr. Copper enters.
Not enough time for guys to go bonkers.
Bullshit, Juana, sweetheart. Drink.
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 Like that.
Bullshit, Juana, sweetheart. 5 minutes is enough to put a man over down here.
Damn straight.
I mean, Palmer been the way he is since his first day.
How many in their party?
Started with 6. There would be 4 others left.
How do you know? Guys as crazy as that could have done a lot of damage to their own before they got to us.
Gary?
Oh, somebody's drinking.
What?
Who's Gary?
Drink. I'm fucking Gary.
Great.
I stationed there. How many in their party? 7. We're on 8. Where's fucking Gary? Oh, nothing we can do about that.
Yes, there is.
Break. Nothing.
I'd like. What? Think. Think.
Guys, this is going to be a rough one tonight.
We're hardly in it.
Ray, you should have told us earlier. in case we're drinking.
Yes,
In
there
this
is.
weather?
I'd like to go up.
In this weather?
Bennings?
Winds are going to let up a tad next couple hours.
Tad.
Can't condone it much myself, but it's a short haul. Hour there, hour back.
Palmer takes another hit off his joint.
Shit, Doc. I'll give you a lift if.
Forget it, Palmer. Doc, you're a pain in the ass. Norris, go get McCready.
McCready ain't going nowhere. Bunkered in until spring.
Just go get him.
Anyways, probably ripped.
Norris, bundled in his 65 pounds of clothing, exits the main compound. He walks the prefab wooden planks up the precipice. His destination is 100 yards up the slope to a shack. McCready's shack. Being dumped into a glass are ice cubes, followed by the pouring of whiskey. An electronic voice is heard. Bishop tonight for... McCready takes a sip of his drink, makes his way over to his electronic chess game. A large Mexican sombrero hangs on his back. He is tall, about 35. His shack is sparse but unkempt. There are a few centerfolds around. The chess game is of larger than normal size, and the pieces move automatically with the press of a button.
Poor little son of a bitch. Starting to lose it, aren't you?
Pawn takes queen at night for... McGreen's grin slowly fades as he examines the board. There is a pounding at the door. McCready broods for a bit, heedless of his visitor, and makes his next move. Rook to knight 6, check. More impatient pounding. McCready glares at his opponent for a beat. He bends forward, opens up a flap containing the chess game circuitry, and pours in his drink. There ensues a snapping sound. He killed the computer.
Cheating bastard.
He opens the door.
You jerking off or just pissed?
We got any more of those electric chess things down in Supply?
Things, drink, things.
I love that Bubs is helping out with drinking.
You got it, dude. I mean, I'm here for you guys, so you know, however I can help, I'm here to help. All right, back to the show. Sorry.
We're people pleasers.
McCready, get your gear on.
What for?
One of the grounded choppers is being readied for takeoff, and Childs holds a huge industrial torch to the engine, warming it up. Gary, Bennings, Dr. Copper, Palmer, and McCready wind their way through the slender corridors on their way to the chopper. Dr. Copper carries a satchel of medical supplies.
Oh, craziness. This is goddamn insane.
Quit the griping, McCready. Sooner you're there, sooner you're back.
It's against regulations to go up this time of year.
Screw regulations. 4 guys could be crawling around on their bellies out there.
So I don't want to end up crawling around with them when we go down.
Look, if you're going to keep bitching, McCready, Palmer's offered to take him up.
What are you talking? He's had 2 months training in those choppers.
4.
What is it out there anyway? 45 knots?
16.
And the horse you rode in on is 16 for how long? What? Wait a minute. I'm going to try that again. And the horse you rode in on, 16 for how long? You can't predict this time of year.
Dr. Copper sits next to McCready, who is at the controls. McCready tightens the string of his sombrero around his neck and starts it up its choking engine. McCready fights violently with the controls as he struggles to get the craft into the air. It finally rights itself. A couple of the men mingle in the area. Clark, the dog handler, looks out the window.
Mac's really taking it up, huh?
The dog, a large bandage on his hip, wades through the room under tables, past men's legs. It hobbles slightly. No one takes notice. The chopper moves over a ridge of ice. As they near, the smoke looms thicker. A black tar-like gush billowing up the gray sky from the whiteness below. Smoke climbs upward. McCready sets his craft down, pull back to reveal the camp itself, resembling the aftermath of a western fort. Small fires and debris are strewn everywhere. Two men look at each other in silence. They get out. A makeshift funeral pyre, smoldering to a close. A hastily conceived crematorium. Curious mounds of melted and blackened goo are heaped within the mess. A small can of gasoline lies nearby. McCready and Copper, their faces ashen as they take into the grotesque sight. McCready turns to view the Norwegian compound. He then exchanges looks with Copper. McCready unhinges the shotgun, then is latched to the panel. McCready and Dr. Copper stand hesitantly amidst the wisps of snow and ambers.
Anybody there?
Anybody there? Huh?
Huh? I heard two anybody there's. Someone's drinking.
Drink.
Don't know what to do.
Narrow corridor. The two men move slowly. It is dank and cold. The face of the door has been shredded. An axe sticks out its middle. McCready winches out the axe. There is blood on it. The men acknowledge this for a beat. McCready tries the knob. It opens slightly, and something is blocking it from the other side.
Anybody in there?
Nothing.
We're Americans.
Nothing.
Nothing. Thing?
Dang,
Yeah,
drink.
Ah.
No. It's not if I say it. It's only if you guys say
Somebody's on their
it.
game.
Oh.
It's only if you guys, not if I read it.
Oh,
I already drank.
thank God.
Oh,
Come to help
Too
you.
late.
now you tell us.
Give me a hand.
They push, shove, grunt. The door gives a bit. Finally, more. It widens enough for McCready to see that a large computer-like machine is blocking their path. It's the communications room. Holes in its roof have allowed it to get freezing cold. A beat as they catch their breath. McCready spots a Coleman lantern and he lights it with a match and holds it up. The brighter light exposes the top of a man's head sitting in the radio chair.
Hey, Sweden. You okay?
The chair rocks slightly with a gentle breeze and they inch closer. A yard from the chair, McCready stops the doctor and he pokes his gun at the chair's back.
Sweden.
Dr. Copper spots something. From the man's wrist on the armrest, he follows a long, yarn-thick red line, ending in a pool of frozen blood on the floor. The two men step around the chair, and the Norwegian stares up its blanched death, a gaping black hole for a mouth. His throat and wrists slit, an old-fashioned straight razor in his lap. McCready turns off the hissing radio and marches to the other door.
My God, what in hell happened there?
Come on, Copper.
The two men face a machine-like obstacle from the other exit. McCready opens, locks, and pushes the open door. More blackness, stronger wind.
Hey, Sweden.
They're not Swedish. God damn it, they're Norwegian, McRae.
Wow! Something slams into the doctor's face from the darkness. The lantern crashes to the ground. The doctor stumbles, falls, and McCready grabs the flashlight and whirls in different directions. A panting beat. Silence. Dr. Copper holds up what hit him, a thick centerfold, buffeted by the wind. McCready takes it.
Norwegian of the month, Doc. Harmless.
The supporting beams have long since buckled and cracked from the constantly moving ice underneath, and the evidence of fire has further weakened the foundations. The wood creaks overhead, bits of ice and silt trickle down. The two men walk haunched and cautious. McCready gingerly tries to make his way around a broken and smoldering beam. The two men wait until it subsides and then move on. Further down, McCready's knee bumps into something along the wall, causing him to stumble slightly. An arm is sticking out of a steel door about 3 feet off the ground. The door has been slammed shut.
Holy shit.
He tries the door, unlock. It opens. The arm drops to the ground. It has been severed by the force of the slam. Its owner is nowhere to be seen. McCready is sickened and coughs.
Christ.
They step over the arm and onto another slim passageway. Moving along, they come to rest in front of a door with a Norwegian lettering on it. McCready pushes it open with his foot. Dozens of papers fly about. McCready surveying the small room with his flashlight.
Laboratory.
Broken beakers, test tubes, a microscope for illuminated. Sounds like a laboratory to me.
Portable video unit.
Copper makes his way among the main work table. He shuffles through papers.
Anything?
All in Norwegian.
What are you doing, Doc?
Could be important work. Might as well bring it back.
It's getting late. Hurry it up. I'll check it out. The last few rooms.
He exits. Amongst the rubble, Dr. Copper finds a pocket tape recorder and several cassettes. He selects a tape and is about to pop it in when he senses something. To the rear, he turns, looks, a beat, nothing. McCready shoves himself into another room. Debris and wood flush down on him. The receding ceiling had been blocking the door from above. The ceiling is in shambles, and the light shines deeper into the room. Dr. Copper is playing the small tape recorder. A casual Norwegian voice drones on as if making notes.
Copper, come here.
He does.
Careful. It's about to go.
Copper dusts himself. McCready stands before a huge block of ice, 15 feet long, 6 feet
real
wide.
quick. We keep calling him McCready, but in the script, it's clearly Mac Ready.
Thank you, Dave. Valid point.
I know that it's McCready in the movie, but in the script, it's Mac Ready.
Mac Ready.
Hey, I think that
Thank you for that, Dave.
Ready
I think that
for
means that
anything,
Dave
man.
has to finish his drink right now because he said that.
Yeah.
Why don't you drink, Graham?
Says drink. Okay.
This huge block of ice is partially melted, but its thawing process has been stopped by the now freezing temperatures. It's one curious feature. The middle has been thawed and scuppered out. Oh, scuppered. I like that word. Giving it the appearance of a large bathtub. McCready's gaze turns to a large metal cabinet at his left. He tries to open it. Stuck. The partially caved-in ceiling is slightly blocking on top of the door. He tries again. Bits of dust float down.
Watch it.
His grip is too strong. It gives suddenly, unexpectedly, and the door flies open. Large chunks splash from the ceiling, and they come thumping to the floor. Behind and in front of the open cabinet door, McCready coughs and waves away the dust. He peers inside. Nothing much, some empty shelves and some gear. His flashlight locates a large photograph. It is a picture of 5 Norwegians, arm in arm, all smiles, toasting each other. They are on either side of the frozen block of ice. McCready looks through the block of ice and then back to the photo. He untapes it, pockets, and shuts the door.
Bud, you drink. Look at my
Come on.
An armless corpse swings into his face from behind the closing door. Dislodged from the ceiling, the body and McCready go crashing to the floor. At the outpost, the loud beat of Warren Zevon's song, The Werewolves of London, can be heard throughout the compound. Werewolves of London. The room is empty. Closed on a video Pong game, its ball of light lazily traveling back and forth. The dog, that goddamn dog, its tail wagging, its bandage on, walks by. Warren Zevon, rest in peace. His record is blasting from Nall's stereo. He skates from the big walk-in freezer and plunks down a large side of beef on the wood-cutting table to thaw. He skates from pot to pan, keeping time with his sounds. He smells, tastes, adds a little something here, a touch there. He clearly enjoys his work. Gary comes in.
Take that crap down, Knowles. You can hear it all over camp.
We wanna, can do.
He skates over. Gary enters and sees that Sanchez is nodded off in front of the receiver. His headgear is still on. Gary walks over and turns up the volume, probably busting his eardrums.
Hey, man.
You reach anybody yet?
We're 1,000 miles from anybody else, man. It's going to get a hell of a lot worse before it gets better, man.
Stick to it.
An empty hallway, larger than most. Doors to several sleeping quarters on either side. That goddamn dog slowly walks through. One of the doors is open up ahead to his left, and that goddamn dog stops in front of it and looks at it. Someone is inside. Inside the small cubicle, a slight portion of a man's back can be seen as he sits bent over a chair, his large shadow displayed on the wall. Back in the corner, that goddamn dog looks up the hall.
That's just like it was in the movie. That is exactly like it was in the movie. I love that part.
That's what scripts are for.
Total realism here.
Back in the corridor, the dog looks up the hall once more and casually to the other end. No one. Enters the room. The sound of a man's voice, too distinct to tell whose, mumbles a hello, boy, a beat. The sound of a glass breaking, a muffled scuffling. The door is slammed shut from inside and then silence. Fuchs, the young biologist, is finishing up his daily jog around the compound. He stops at the end of a long Quonset. Oh, Quonset hut. That makes sense. Most completely buried in the snow. The hut is 50 yards long and connects to the main compound. He enters a tunnel. He jogs down the steps, passing the underground dog kennel, and trots towards the compound through that tunnel. He waves and passes Clark, who rolls along a wheelbarrow of dog food. Clark opens the door of the small kennel and serves up the dinner. The goddamn dogs, about 7 of them, yelp and bark eagerly. Near the fuel supply bladder.
Billy Ray, you're going to be drunk as fuck tonight.
I really am. Older and more rickety than the quarters above. Childs waltzes through, humming, a big smile on his face. He stops at a door with 6 locks on it, different kinds, combination, keys. We get it. There are locks. He opens each one separately. Inside are several marijuana plants. Sun lamps beam down on them, and Childs inspects them with a wide grin.
How are my brothers and sisters doing today? What say to some nice Al Green for my babies, huh?
He waters them carefully as Al Green sings softly. He hears a panning and turns around to see that goddamn dog. The bandage is gone.
Get the hell on out of here. Coming in here going to urinate on my babies.
Blair passing through, holding a chart and carrying a rack of test tubes. Notices a large bandage on the floor.
On babies all the time.
He picks it up inquiringly. It is mangled and shredded. Palmer works on the generator. He hears the sound of approaching propeller blades from outside and then the sound of his toolbox crashing to the floor. The goddamn dog who has entered the shed has jumped on the work table and upended the toolbox in its eagerness to look out of the window. Palmer curses under his breath.
Clark, will you kennel this goddamn dog? Hey, Clark!
It paws at the window and watches as the chopper, carrying McCready and Dr. Copper, fights against the newly arrived heavy winds and lands. Gary, McCready, Dr. Copper, Norris, Bennings, Blair, and his assistant Fuchs are present. The small Norwegian video unit has been set up, and its contents are being viewed on a TV screen. Grainy, home movie-ish. Shots of the Norwegians at work, playing soccer, all sorts of other shit. Norris shuffles the bundles of notes Dr. Copper brought back with him.
Seems they were spending a lot of time at a place 4 miles northeast of their camp.
What were they involved in?
Little ice core drilling, some seismology, glaciology. Same old shit we do.
Present footage is being shot of them all naked and probably drunk, holding a sign across their waists as they stand outdoors in super freezing weather.
How much more of this crap is there?
About 9 more hours.
Can't learn anything from this.
Anything? Drink!
Drink! Everybody drink!
No!
And you, Billy Ray, for food.
Tomorrow, you're all going to be thanking us.
I already am.
Me?
What?
Shit.
Anybody?
What?
Whoever's playing Dr. Cooper should go.
Drink!
McCready and I were listening to some of these cassettes on the way back. Like you gentlemen to hear it.
A Norwegian voice drones on calmly, making verbal notes.
What do you want from us?
Just listen.
Dr. Copper fast forward. The calm voice continues and then a loud blast followed by a pounding. The sound of confusion. Voices, loud, frenetic. Men's feet running up and down wooden floors, a gurgling, a hissing, screams, and then a screeching. More blasts mixed with the din of a wild, carnage-wrought cries, and then more screeching. The men look from one another in silence as they listen. Dr. Copper turns it off.
Goes on like that quite a while. What do you gentlemen make of it?
Please.
Could be anything.
Drink!
Anything! Drink!
Drink.
Bubs, you're the best sidekick I've ever had.
Thanks,
Bubs
Dave.
isn't your
Likewise.
sidekick, Dave. Fuck
also,
you.
also shout out to Billy Ray, also a great sidekick. We really got along well today at the other thing.
The other thing. Drink.
Wait, that didn't count, did it?
Okay.
Man in isolation. Some beef that snowballed, got out of hand.
Maybe the whole camp got bent. Something.
Whoop, drink!
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys, we're gonna be fucked up.
Maybe the whole camp got bent. Something they ate. What about food poisoning, Doc?
Maybe. There's something else we want you to see.
Something.
Jesus.
Drink.
Dr. Copper and McCready begin dumping the heavy contents of a large plastic trash bag onto the slab.
We found this.
Displayed on the slab is what appears to be the corpse of a man badly charred. What is left of the trousers and shoes of the bottom torso are ripped and split. The head is strangely disfigured and looks larger than normal. The shirt has been ripped and lies shredded in a tar-like mess. The men grimace.
I know he's pretty badly burned, but could fire have done this?
Blair pokes it.
Blair, I'd like you and Fuchs to help me with the autopsies on one. And Gary, shit, fuck.
You tried.
Gary shitfuck.
Blair, I'd like you and Fuchs.
If Gary
to help me
Shitfuck
with
isn't
the
trending in the
autopsy.
next hour on Twitter, I'm going to be personally disappointed.
Hashtag Gary Shitfuck. That's Gary with 2 R's.
That's
We're
2
working
R's.
on it. We're going to work on that
Goddamn
hashtag. Don't worry.
Blair, I'd like you and Fuchs to help me with autopsies on this one and the one Gary shot this morning.
Foosball. Knowles and Clark are going at it hot and heavy. Sanchez sits off in a corner, thumbing through an old issue of Photo Play. Bennings, Norris, and Gary are engaged in a card game, and Bennings is about to play a card when he feels something under the table. Wonder what it could be. The goddamn dog.
Fucking dog.
Will you put this mutt with the others where it belongs?
Larger than most of the other rooms, the lab is well equipped. Dr. Copper is performing an autopsy.
It sounds like he's performing a drink fucking bit.
Blair
Billy
sits
Ray.
over his microscope while Fuchs prepares slides. The other body is draped with a sheet, waiting its turn, and Dr. Copper pulls off his gloves.
Dr. Copper.
Nothing wrong with this one, physiologically anyway. Find anything toxic?
Oh my God, that's 2.
Oh, that was
fuck.
2.
That is
Oh,
2.
God. 2 drinks.
No drugs.
There's a third one
alcohol,
coming.
Nothing.
Oh,
That's a third one. Clark leads the dog through the long, cold tunnel through the kennel. A new dressing has been placed on its hip, and he latches the door to the kennel and leads him in. About 20 foot long, 5 feet wide. A lot of measuring in this script. Cramped with goddamn dogs. Curious.
Anybody know if that's accurate?
They greet their new companion, sniffing, panting, and curious. Clark pats the dog. Child lies in his cot watching a small television. The show is a tape of an American TV game show. He's seen it a lot. Palmer is stretched out, smoking another joint. A small area just off the rec room, set up like a bar. McCready is alone, looking over the rest of the videotapes from the Norwegian outpost. Blair, hovering over the microscope, lays in a slide, focuses and motions for Dr. Copper to take a look. Dr. Copper is confused.
I don't understand.
Peach looks too.
It's tissue from one of these sinewy rods.
What in the world kind of cell structure is this?
That's the point.
I don't get you, Blair.
Not sure it is any kind of cell structure, biologically speaking.
Whoa.
There really isn't my field, Blair. It's wrapped for the day.
Copper undoes his lab coat and lays it over a chair as he exits. A steady stream of sleep pounds the compound. The rec room is vacant. The hallway, sleeping cubicles on either side, people snoring. Bleary-eyed, McCready is in the process of blowing up some strange inflatable object. As he puffs away, he still keeps an eye on the Norwegian videotapes. His balloon takes shape and it blossoms into a life-size replica of a full-breasted woman. Something on the tape catches his eye. He rewinds. The screen shows the Norwegians on the surface of what appears to be an enormous flat glacier.
Frank.
They are spread out on the ice around a large oval shape. It fades to black, and then a Norwegian comes on, mugging childishly in front of the camera. It's a spaceship, y'all.
Yeah.
What kind of spaceship?
A red one.
A red one. Thanks,
The men are
Bob.
sinking something into it.
Decanite, thermite charges.
The tape jump cuts again, showing a long shot of the markings. No Norwegian in sight. An explosion happens. Then the camera appears and shakes the ground as it quivers. An earthquake. God damn it! An earthquake.
All right, you Billy Ray.
The camera on the ground.
What in the...
The tape continues, distorted, unviewable, a distant crack in the lens. McCready lets go of his companion and quickly rewinds. The deflating mannequin is sent sputtering around the room. Most of the goddamn dogs are sleeping or lounging, and the new dog watches them calmly, silently. He takes several steps towards a group of about 5 dogs and sits upright, completely still.
Just want to stop and say, as you're listening to this, a lot of scenes are not in the movie. A lot of scenes we're reading, like, this portion was not in the movie. And a lot of the stuff was also reordered. Some of the scenes are different in the script. In the movie, they're in a different place. Carry on.
The movie's better.
Some sweet deleted scene action exclusive to the Chattanooga Film Festival virtual edition.
That's right.
Basically,
Two of my
the dog.
best scenes are not even here.
Yeah.
Basically, the dog just stares at the other dogs like a creeper. And then the shadow lurches upward, seeming larger, and the kennel roars. He's a badass. McCready is still going over bits of the same footage, fascinated. In Noel's headquarters, he too, bothered by the noise, tosses and turns in his sleep. Clark snores. McCready has entered.
Clark.
No response. McCready pinches his snoring nose, trying to kill him.
Dogtown's going nuts. Take care of it.
Clark is irritated, makes his way down the freezing corridor, reaches the kennel. The savage outpouring of noise from within baffles and angers him. He unlatches the door.
Got into.
Smack! Just as he opens the door, 2 dogs, as if jettisoned from a cannon, knock him off his feet. Growls, barks, snarls, and a screech from within. McCready is fetching himself a beer, because he's an alcoholic. The sound of the far-off screeching. He freezes, a beat. He turns and sprints. The beer can as it smashes the glass of the fire alarm. He pulls the lever. The alarm is blaring throughout the camp. McCready, Gary, Norris run through the narrow tunnel led by Clark. McCready carries a shotgun. Gary, half-dressed, has his .44, and Clark a fire axe.
I don't know what the hell's in there, but it's weird and pissed off, whatever it is.
Chaos. Men, half-naked men, beautiful, glorious half-naked men bounce from their cubicles, pulling on their pants, digging into shoes. Childs is grappling with his belt buckle.
That's what it says.
Matt wants the what?
That's what he said. Now move.
Kennel, as the men approach the locked kennel door, the 2 dogs thrown into Clark bark ferociously and scratch at the door, trying to get back in. One is badly bloodied. The fight inside rages on. McCready and Clark brace themselves by the narrow door. Norris and Gary hold back the 2 hysterical dogs, and Clark undoes the latch, and he and McCready enter the kennel. The light has been broken and is pitch black. McCready snaps on his flashlight. Norris and Gary can't contain their animals, and the dogs burst into the room. They smash into McCready, send him sprawling. Total confusion. The dogs, the men, the screeching, the blackness.
Mac, Where are you?
McWeeny gropes for his flashlight and rights himself. He finds Clark, then shines it around in cramped room trying to find his bearings. The light finds a mass of dogs in a wild melee in the corner. Barking mixed with hissing, a gurgling, a screeching. Dogs being hurled about and then charging back into the fray with a vengeance. The flashlight illuminates parts of something. A dog, but not quite. Impossible to tell. It struggles powerfully. Gary pokes his head into the blackness.
What's going on, damn it?
I'm going to shoot.
No, wait.
Clark wades into the pack, grabs the dog's hides, and throws them back. He then wields his axe into the fray, chopping and hacking away at the gurgling, hissing silhouette. From out of nowhere, a large, bristly, arachnid-like leg springs up and wraps around Clark's axe. It sends Clark smashing violently into the wall. More men running near the kennel, several squeezing in with Gary trying to get a look. McWeeny fires several rounds. The dog is flung at him, knocking him. And the flashlight once more to the ground. Gary squeezes in and begins blasting away in the direction of the hissing and screeching. A dog is hit. McWeeny crawls for his flashlight.
Clark, where are you? Clark!
Blam, blam. Gary continues firing at the silhouette. Childs, huffing and puffing, lugs the huge industrial torch toward the crowded kennel doorway.
What's happening?
Childs, you got that torch? Get your ass in here.
Child scrunches in, disoriented by the blackness, and bumps into Gary, knocking him off balance.
Where are you?
Damn it! Torch it over there.
The dogs?
Screw the dogs. Torch it.
Childs does.
I'm Jesse. Jesse. Is Gary here?
Gary!
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 We're on fire!
Don't let him,
Oh,
Childs!
thank Alexis.
Shit! Extinguishers!
Childs moves closer, continuing his assault on the hissing, gurgling presence. Men charge into the room and begin spraying dogs and burning walls. Dogs and men choke and cough amidst the smoke and CO2 as the screeching lessens. The hissing and gurgling fades. In the rec room, those are the men that have gathered inside exhibit a pale
Billy Ray, drink. I think
Blair.
Billy Ray's trying to fuck it up on purpose so he can get drunk.
Blair, in silent Wilford Brimley awe, stands over the badly burned corpses of two interlocking dogs. They are connected as if they were one animal, though the one wearing the remnants of Clark's bandage is much longer and appears less dog-like. Its entire torso is cracked. Odd appendages recoiled and withered. It's basically a fucking mess, y'all.
Yeah.
The dead body of two other dogs from the
remember.
kennel are not far off. Fuchs is attending to the shredded bodies of three other badly wounded. These dogs, man, they're everywhere. Knowles pats Clark on the
These
shoulder. and
goddamn
grins,
dogs.
Trying to pick up his spirits.
Somebody's drinking.
Knowles?
It's okay now, man. It's dead. It's over. You see.
Rico, drink first. Nope, drink first.
I was taking a dramatic pause.
Nope.
I know, Mr. Childs.
Don't lie to me.
I saw.
That's all right. I got rights. All right. And what I just said, yeah. Did you say the next line, Clark?
Yeah,
you did.
I'll say it again.
Drink.
No, Mr. Childs killed it.
Right, man. Right.
Workroom. Norris is going through some maps. McCready's bent over his shoulder. Norris finds the one he's looking for.
Here. This is where they were spending most of their time.
Pretty nasty out, Mac. 35 knots.
Screw it. I'm going up anyway.
Gary is joined Blair by the stuck-together bodies.
Wasn't anything that got in from the outside. It was that dog, the Norwegian dog.
I just can't any of this. It was just a dog.
Gordon, no dog, Guana.
That tape
Lana, what's
showed us this
Lana?
morning.
Couldn't take much of it myself.
I've asked him to try and locate the site. Is that okay with you?
Sure. You think there's a connection?
Maybe.
The chopper high above the Antarctic expanse. McCready pilots. Young Palmer and Norris are with him. It is clear, but the winds are troublesome. The ride is a shaky one.
What if their sites would be directly over here?
At the out, all the bodies of the dogs have been brought in. Fuchs stands by as Blair studies. He looks at the sails, and a disturbed look comes across his face. Back at the glacier, there's a big hole.
How big is the hole?
It's pretty damn big.
It's so big.
Is that
Is it so
Palmer?
big that someone would have
That's
a line?
Palmer. That's
Did we just
Palmer.
skip like 5 paragraphs?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like the ones you choose to skip.
We have to kind of catch up.
McCready finds a burnt thermite canister. He and Norris climb down. They move along the wreck. You know, guys, this is where the UFO is.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay, magnesium of some type, or some kind of strange alloy. And those poor dumb bastards had to go and blow the hell out of it.
What do you make of it?
You know damn well what we both make of it.
No chance it could have been some kind of new test craft?
Seismic activity has been pushing this area up from way down for a long time. The size it was buried in, it's over 100,000 years old.
The two men join Palmer about 50 yards from the oval. A large rectangular chunk has been cut out of the ice. It's the size of that chunk that they saw earlier. McCready observes in the rec room. A few of the men are reviewing the Norwegian videotapes of the finding of the mysterious craft. McCready sits quietly by his chest set, contemplating a large glass of scotch. Blair, looking worried, sits off in a corner, pondering the photo of the block of ice and fingering a piece of crumbled up metal brought back from the site. Child's viewing the tapes, can't quite believe all of it.
Okay, now, Mac, run this by me again. Thousands of years ago, this rocket ship crashes, right? And McCready.
Look, I'm just guessing.
Well, go on.
Knowles, about to prepare dinner, scowls as he rummages through his many cabinets.
That big old steel pot of mine. Damn!
He turns to examine the cabinets above the large stove. He spots something in the nearby kitchen trash can. Disgusted, he pulls out a torn and shredded pair of long johns. McCready theorizes.
So it crashes, and this guy, whoever he is, gets thrown out or walks out and ends up freezing.
I just can't believe this voodoo bullshit. You believe this voodoo bullshit, Blair?
Blair says nothing, lost in thought. Palmer, stoned, a joint dangling from his mouth, is searching for information through stacks of National Enquirer and Star magazines.
It's old time, man. They're falling out of the skies like flies. Government knows all about it. Chariots of the gods, man. They practically own South America. I mean, they taught the Incas everything they knew.
Cool it, Palmer.
Read Van Deniken. Have you read Van Deniken? Get your facts straight.
Jesus, why would those guys ever want to leave Norway?
Which one of you mothers been tossing his dirty underwear in the kitchen trash? I want my kitchen clean, germ-free.
He skates off. McCready fetches the strangely shredded underwear and rolls it up.
Yeah.
Well, McCready, come on now. These Norwegian dudes come by, find him, and dig him up.
Mm-hmm. They dig him up and cart him back. He gets thawed out, wakes up, and scares the shit out of them. And then they get into one hell of a brawl.
Now this motherfuckers wake up after thousands of years in the ice, huh?
I don't know. Because he's different than we are, okay? Because he's a space guy. What do you want from me anyway? Go ask Blair.
You buying into this, Blair?
Blair stares straight ahead, transfixed.
He was here. Got to that dog. He was here in this camp.
The men take it in.
So what? It's over with.
Well, isn't it?
Close on a sheet as Blair rips off, exposing the tangled mess of interlocking dogs. Pull back. All the men have gathered. Some of the men settle into chairs. Others stand.
Whatever that Norwegian dog was, it was capable of changing its form. When it attacked our dog, it somehow was able to digest or absorb it, and in the process shaped its own cells to imitate our dog cells exactly. This, for instance, isn't dog at all. It's imitation. We got to it before it had time to finish, or...
No.
I think the whole process would have taken an hour, maybe more, and I suppose both would have changed back to dog form.
Well, that thing in the ice weren't no dog.
Thing.
Of course not. But whenever it was revived, the thing was probably disoriented.
Thing.
Dang.
And it realized it couldn't survive for long in our atmosphere.
Aren't you glad you're not drinking?
So being the incredibly adaptable creature it was, it tried to become something that could.
Thing.
Holy shit. before the Norwegians killed it, it somehow got to this dog.
What do you mean, got to the dog?
It was a life form that was able to imitate and reproduce whatever it ate or absorbed, cell for cell. The concept's staggering. I know. I don't fully understand it myself.
But you're saying that big mother in the ice became that dog?
I think we're talking about an organism that could imitate other life forms perfectly. It could have gone on and on. It could have become one dog. It could have become as many dogs as it wanted to, and without losing any of its original mass.
You've been in a child's weed, Blair?
Look, I know it's hard to believe.
So what's our problem?
There's still some cell activity. It's not entirely dead yet.
Compound. Night. Closing the dark carcasses, lying in the snow, and they are being soaked with gasoline.
You can't do this! You can't burn these remains!
Fuchs is beside himself. Childs has a large torch. Greedy empties another can on the bodies. Dr. Copper stands nearby.
And the horse you rode in on, Fuchs, light it up.
Childs lights the tip.
Well, I'm not going to let this happen.
Child struggles with him for a beat and then flings him to the ground. Dr. Copper grabs him, preventing him from getting back up. Child splays the remains with a jet of flame, and Fuchs shakes his head in frustration and disgust.
I just can't believe it. We're going to go down as the biggest bunch of assholes in history.
Fuck history. At least we're going to live on as an old bunch of assholes.
Kennel, the night feeding. Clark dishes out the food. Blair is taking blood samples from the remaining dogs.
Clark, did you notice anything strange about that dog? Just anything at all?
Thing?
Any little thing.
God damn it.
Three.
No. Just that he recovered real quick. That night when I found him in the rec room, he'd already scraped off his bandage. Before I put him with the others, I redressed his wound and noticed it healed up real good.
At night?
Yeah.
What's he doing in the rec room?
Well, after I worked on him, thought I'd let him rest. Let the room for a bit. When I came back, he was gone.
Where was he? Where did he go?
Don't know. Looked for him for a bit. Couldn't find him.
You're saying he wasn't put into the kennel until the night?
Well, yeah.
How long were you with the dog? Alone, I mean.
He was hurt real bad. Bullet nicked an artery. I don't know, an hour and a half. What in the hell are you looking at me like that for?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
That's a two-thing drink. That's a double thing.
That's such a good scene.
Yeah, I know. I was going to let it go because it was real emotional and they were crushing it, but it's still a double drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irritated, harassed, station manager Gary moves briskly down the hall. Blair, worried and pale, tries to keep up with him.
Could have gotten to somebody.
Anybody sick?
No, I don't mean infection or disease.
Any luck with that? Good? Huh?
Oh, Alexis, drink. Alexis, drink. Drink 2 times. She messed up twice.
Only page 46, guys.
Yeah, there was 120 of them.
I'm
doing
dying.
great.
Any luck
Doing
yet?
great.
The script is so long. Okay.
Thank God we're at home.
I know, right?
I don't know whose
You're
house
at
I'm
home.
at.
Here we go. Hit us with your line again, Gary.
Well, stick with it. I want you at it around the clock. We got to get help in here.
No,
Top of 47.
no, you can't let anyone in here. That dog was all over this camp.
Bennings interrupts.
Travel-wise, tomorrow may be okay, but after that, some pretty nasty northeasterly shit's coming in.
Oh, damn fools.
Listen to me, Gary. Please.
If the weather clears enough before we reach any bay, I'm sending you and the doc up to McMurder.
Oh,
and
I ain't going anywhere in anything over 40 knots, Gary.
the hell you want, McCready?
Don't you understand? That thing didn't want to become a dog.
Ah!
Oh, hey.
Billy Ray, you're an asshole.
I sure.
Damn you, Blair.
And you know what? It could have been dog. It could have been worse.
Could have been
Dog
dog.
could have been the worst.
Yeah.
Could have been dog.
Right.
Damn you, Blair. You've already got everybody half hysterical around here.
Can't let anybody leave.
Listen, I've got 6 dead Norwegians on my hands, a burned up flying saucer. We just destroyed the scientific find of the century. Fuck off.
And Blair fucks off. Compound. Pitch black except for the terraced lighting. McCready's cabin, far away from the others, he sits in his little hovel, putting the final screw into his mended chess set. On the other side of the set, his busty, inflatable companion is propped up in a chair. His sombrero hangs up, keeping her in place. Hawaiian music plays. What a scene this is!
By the way, can we take a hot second to appreciate Barbara's sombrero that she's brought to this?
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
It's
bravo.
It's part
thank you, guys.
sombrero, part vacation hat, and I love it.
It's like what I had at my house. But I want to say this next scene that we're going to do, this isn't in the movie either. Anyway, it's interesting. But he plays a lot of chess in the script, but in the movie they took a lot of the chess stuff out. Anyway,
As
all
an
set.
avid chess player, that's bullshit.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
Screwdriver.
all set. Yeah. To us.
He clinks the drink he has made for her, then rests her on the side of the board. He sits. He turns on the machine and makes his first move.
Now go easy on me, Esperanza. I'm just a beginner.
Rook takes bishop at queen 4. Rook takes pawn at queen 2. Rook takes queen at queen 1. Checkmate.
Ah, shit.
He flips open the circuitry panel in disgust. He tosses the screwdriver on the board and grabs his drink, downing it.
Sorry, hon. Never any damn ice around here.
Computer sad. McCready exits. He tracks at a nearby bank of ice with a small ice prick.
Now in Mexico. Tahiti. Oh, let me start it again. I'm going to drink. Wait. Drink.
Drink first, and then you can start again.
I didn't know what my motivation was. Okay.
So Billy Ray, you drink for not giving her good motivation.
That's all right. No, I get it now. Now in Mexico, Tahiti, they got ice. They got ice coming out their ears.
More clanking as the alcoholic drinks. McCready makes his way down with the aid of the steady ropes. At the bottom near the main compound, the sound has stopped and he looks around in near blackness. A beat. The chopper sitting idle in the dark. McCready approaches. The door to one of the cockpits is slightly ajar. He steps in, he turns on a flashlight, and the controls have been fucking mangled, y'all. Beaten with something heavy. Bam! McCready, startled, turns in the compound. Oh, like the sound of a gun coming from the main compound. In the compound, confusion. Shouts. McCready enters. He grabs Palmer as he and Bennings rush by.
What?
Blair, he's gone berserk.
He's in the radio room. Got a gun. Beat on Sanchez. Something fierce.
Something.
Fierce.
The men are on either side of the open radio room doorway, and Gary peeks his head in. A gunshot blast. Sanchez lies on the floor. Blair holds the gun on the door. He wields a fire axe with the other hand and smashes down on the radio.
Nobody interferes. Anybody interferes, I'll kill. Nobody's getting in and out of this camp.
McCready has joined the others.
He smashed one of the choppers up good. Child, go check the other one in the tractor.
Childs is off. Blair crunches the axe down once again while keeping an eye on the door.
Think I'm crazy? Fine. Most of you don't know what's going on, but I'm damn well sure some of you do.
The back window. A couple of us could maybe surprise him.
Too damn dangerous.
You think this thing wants to become an animal?
Drink.
Dogs can't make it 1,000 miles to the sea.
Can I get pie?
There's no seagulls to imitate this time of year. No penguins this far inland. Don't you understand? It wanted to become us.
He brings the axe down on the radio. Child runs up out of breath.
You got both choppers and a tractor. I don't know how bad yet.
Gary readies his large 3357 Magnum.
No,
He's
wait.
definitely drinking.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. The fuse box.
Norris double times down the hall. McCready turns the corner and into the rec room. He grabs one of the thick card tables, and McCready returns with the table to the hallway.
Can't you see? One cell of this thing got out. It can imitate every living thing on Earth. Nothing can stop it. Nothing.
That's four. Four things.
Oh.
That's a lot of things.
God. Here we go,
Look,
guys.
Blair. Look, Blair. maybe you're right about this, but we've got to be rational. We've got to talk this over. I'm unarmed, and I'm coming in.
No, you're not. I don't trust any of you.
Norris reaches the fuse box and opens it. McCready steadies the table like a shield.
If you're right, we all got to stick together.
The lights go. McCready charges into the black room. Blair fires. McCready barrels into him, knocking him to the ground. He pummels him with the right hand and manages to control the gun. The others dive in and pile on Wilford Brimley. Heavily clothed McCready, Dr. Copper helped a dazed Blair to a tool shed some 75 yards from the main compound. More spacious than McCready's, very livable. No blow-up women. 2 windows. Blair has been placed on the cot. Dr. Copper injects him with a sedative.
Why am I here?
It's for your own protection, Blair.
And mainly ours.
Hughes and McCready kneel boards over the windows.
Leave a little bit of an opening so we can see out.
Blair's droopy-eyed, heavily drugged features loom up at McCready through the window.
How you doing, old boy?
I don't know who to trust.
Know what you mean, Blair? Trust is a tough thing to come by these days.
Dang.
Oh, the things. They're so hard.
Oh, shit.
What?
Just
What?
trust in the Lord.
Clark.
What?
Watch him close. Ask him why he didn't kill that dog.
Compound day, harsh and gray, getting very dark as winter takes a stronger hold. Bennings is dumping the trash in a large hole in the snow, which acts as the trash dump. He finishes and drags an empty bin past Palmer and Childs, who are fixing the wounded choppers. The radio looks a fucking mess. Norris and Sanchez, a bandage wrapped around his head, examine the damage. He's in pain and shit, still groggy.
I'll see what I can do, but they didn't teach me much about fixing these things.
Things?
Things?
Oh, God damn it.
Guys, I don't think I'm not going to make it till tomorrow.
Well, they didn't teach you much about working them either.
Mess hall. The men help themselves. It is cramped, elongated room. Dr. Copper approaches Knowles and hands him a capsule.
Put this in Blair's juice before you take him.
Clark comes running in.
The dogs.
Empty the kennel is. Clark and Gary examine the latch of the kennel door.
Doesn't look broken.
No. Door was wide open. I know I latched it.
Close on the dog's tracks in the snow. They lead from the kennel's open stairwell and onto the ice. All the men have gathered.
All 3 of them took off.
How long do you suppose they've been gone?
I haven't seen them since their last feeding. Could be as much as 24 hours.
They couldn't have gotten that far in this weather.
You're not thinking of going after them, are you?
I'm going after them.
What the hell for? Even if Blair's right, they'll just die out there. No food. We're over 1,000 miles from any thing.
That was too easy. Copper's already
Boo, boo, boo. I can do it too. I like to have fun.
Hey, I've got like 12 lines in this thing, so I'll do that one again.
Get these things out of supply and meet me over there by the fucking snowmobiles.
You're not going to catch them in one of those with the start they got.
Palmer! How long would it take you to strap those big 4-cylinder carburetors on?
Oh, I got you. Not too long.
Then move it. Childs, come with me.
He puts his arms around Childs and pulls him along. The others watch them walk off, bewildered.
Besides, what are you going to do when you catch up to them?
Holy shit. Whatever he's going to do, he ain't fucking around.
The barrel of the large torch, a fierce stream of flame bursts through its nozzle. The stream is shot out some 15 feet, and Childs has been modifying it.
I could get maybe another 5 or 6 feet out of it.
That's good enough.
Palmer works on the snowmobiles. In the frame rolls a wheelbarrow on sleds, and a box marked dynamite is his most prominent article. Bennings reads off the list of supplies.
All right. Box of dynamite, box of thermite, 3 shotguns, box of flares, 2 flare guns, 30 cans gasoline, and a case of alcohol.
Let's load them.
Yeah.
The two vehicles rip across the hard, flat ice, bolstered by the added horsepower. They follow the still visible dog tracks in the snow. The sun sliding across the horizon, signaling midday. The snowmobiles whoosh past. Bennings drives the one loaded with supplies, and McCready and Childs double up on the other. McCready steadying his binoculars while Childs drives, spots something up ahead. The vehicles slow to a halt. Something lies ahead of them in the whiteness in the middle of the dog tracks. They kneel down by the something.
Oh, wait. Something.
Oh, no.
Nope, not when I read it.
Not when you read it.
It is the half-eaten remains of a dog. Its hind legs and lower stomach picked clean. Its ripped hide flapping in the wind. It's all messed up.
What is
it? Messed up.
What is it?
Maybe dinner.
Dogs don't eat each other.
I know.
But where's the other half?
Probably the next meal.
McCready grabs gasoline.
Where are these tracks headed?
Nowhere. Just straight to the ocean.
McCready takes this in. He pours the gas over the remains and sets it aflame.
Let's move.
They could be hours ahead of us, Mac.
Gonna get dark soon, too. Supposed to be 50 below tonight.
Turn back if you want.
The sun making its last pass, rolling off the horizon. Only a slight orange hue is left. The snowmobiles move slower, positioned on either side of the tracks, and the tracks abruptly change direction. The men come to a stop. It is much colder now. Their beards are white as shit. McCready surveys the new direction. You're headed towards a far-off ridge of bluffs. The snowmobiles, as they move through a valley of newly formed, they're riding those snowmobiles everywhere. There's a dog. It sits. It's back to them, unconcerned, heedless of their arrival. It is munching on the other half of the dog carcass. The men stop their machine some 20 yards from it. Childs carrying the torch and McCready, armed with a thermite bomb, wade awkwardly but carefully towards the animal in the snowshoes. Childs and McCready spread out some dozen feet from the dog.
Where's the other one?
Where's your buddy boy, huh? Let that thing fly, Childs. That thing! Let that thing fly!
Shit.
Fuck.
Definitely
Don't let
counts.
up until he's ash.
Childs lights it up. Bennings is watching the bluff. Something from beneath the snow reaches up and grabs his feet. He is ripped back down through the hard snow in one incredible, powerful motion. He screams, his head the only thing sticking out. Childs and McCready turn, confused, unable to see anything but Bennings' screaming head. They rush towards him. The sound of a snapping, a cracking to McCready's rear. He freezes and comes back to the dog. Its back is still to him. Its coat of is sticking up like that of a porcupine. It snarls. Its face turns towards him. Its skin splitting, its mouth ripping open wildly.
Childs!
Yeah, got it.
Childs stops. Confused as to who to help first. He notices the dog launched and ready to spring, and he steps back towards McCready. The dog thing leaps for McCready, an incredible jump of some 20 feet. Childs lets loose a blast, hitting the dog in midair, and the force of the spray knocks it back, tumbling onto the ice. McCready throws the thermite canister. It goes boom. Bennings howling in pain. The ice underneath him thrashes violently. Childs and McCready stand up helplessly. What action to take?
Stay back!
Bennings' head disappears with a sudden jerk through the ice. Part of Bennings' body pops up in a different area. McCready and Childs watch in frustration and anger.
What are we going to do?
How the fuck do I know?
Bennings' head and shoulders then surface near one of the snowmobiles. Something has him, unclear as to what. The jowls of a dog, but huge. Bennings' heavy clothing begins to rip and tear. McCready runs for the snowmobile.
Torch them!
But
he's gone already. Do it!
Childs blasts away, and the ice melts. Lots of screeching. McCready grabs cans of gas from the snowmobiles, and suddenly a steel-like arachnid-shaped arm shoots out in pain and with incredible force pierces the fiberglass chassis. McCready is knocked back. He recovers and dumps cans of gasoline on the writhing mess. He dies and rolls away. Chassis, yes, that's right. He and guess I got a drink.
Yep.
Drink.
Chassis!
He and Childs watch on as Bennings and the thing roar in flame. Behind them, the other dog thing continues to burn. They look at each other in disbelief. That was some shit. The men are interrogating Clark. He is frazzled and defensive.
I'm telling you, I don't remember leaving the kennel unlatched.
Bullshit! You left it open so they could get out.
McCready, waist deep in trash and snow, searches for something. The interrogation continues.
Would I even have told you they were gone if I had anything to hide?
But why didn't you kennel that dog right away?
I told you I couldn't find...
Oh, wait, that was
Get that out of my face.
It was an anything.
Oh, good catch.
Oh, shit.
Ah, shit.
Sorry, I was too busy.
Try, guys.
Pushing the Chattanooga whiskey glass bottles behind me.
One of the thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
I'm here for you.
There's a lot of dog
And,
stuff
you.
in here. There's a lot of dog stuff in the script.
There
that
sure
didn't
is.
make it into the movie.
Oh, yeah.
We keep going back to the dogs.
Right.
In the movie, when they were editing it, they went, "That's enough dogs. Let's move on."
Maybe
Yeah.
dogs.
I don't think it was enough dogs. I could have used more dogs. That's me. I love dogs.
Me too, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one, but
I love dogs too.
I love the snowmobile.
You guys just want to talk about
Yeah.
dogs for a while?
That's kind of fun.
let's do it. Let's talk about dogs. I wanna-
CFF puppy chat, motherfuckers.
We should keep
Yeah,
going.
I'm dogs.
Okay,
Puppy
guys.
Bowl
On the count of,
2012.
guys,
Puppy
on the
chat.
count of three. On the count of three, say your favorite dog, and then we're going to move on. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my god, I love them all.
My dog's the best.
Pomeranian.
Bitches. Now, where are we?
Nobody knows.
We're on page.
Here I
We're on
told
page.
you I couldn't find. Get that out of my face.
That's it. That's it.
3.
63.
Oh, God damn, we're about to drink too.
We're on 66.
Yeah. Want me to just start at the top of 63?
Yeah.
Let's start
Yeah,
at
but
the
we
top of
already-
63.
Yeah.
We already drank on that thing. We don't
did.
do that again.
We did?
already did that one.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Ugh.
I'm going to drink on that thing again.
Okay, you get it.
All right. But I have told you they were gone if I had anything to hide.
But why didn't you kennel that dog right away?
I told you I couldn't find. Get that thing out of my face.
Ah.
Don't you be telling me that.
That's not in the script.
No, she added a thing.
Added a thing.
That's okay.
He had the thing. Like your load, sucker. Ain't the judge and executioner around there been here?
Who you trying to protect, motherfucker? I'm telling you this SOB could be one of them.
Gary breaks in, pulling him apart.
Hold on, damn it. We're getting nowhere. If this bit of Blair's about absorbing and imitating is true, then that God could have gotten anybody.
Dogs are gods.
It's true, but you have to drink.
Spelled backwards.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's right.
I
You guys
think
were doing
a spiritual
God.
moment has happened.
This is
We're
going
doing
so well.
great.
It's amazing. Finish the line.
Then that dog could have gotten anybody. God damn
If
it.
it got to Clark could have gotten anybody. Theoretically, any of us could be whatever the hell this thing is.
Dun, dun.
Aha.
Dora shakes his head, rubbing his chest in slight discomfort.
It's just too damn wild. I can't believe it.
Well, you can believe it now.
He drops the bundle he's been holding on the table between them. Is the shredded pair of long johns.
I found this yesterday. It's ripped just like the clothing on the Norwegian. we bought.
Clothing. That's thing in it.
Oh,
Are you serious?
Go fuck yourself, Dave.
Yeah, suck it,
Damn,
Dave.
Dave.
New rule. Fuck off. And don't even put your glass down.
the same. Excuse me. The same thing. What's happening?
That will do.
To Benning's clothes.
Oh, God.
When it got to him. Seems these things
Please stop.
Yeah.
don't
Barbara, are you
imitate
drinking White Claw?
clothes. What?
Are you
What?
drinking White Claw?
I'm drinking. I'm drinking.
Wine spritzers or wine?
It's like a wine
A
cooler.
little sparkling wine cooler.
It's like a white claw. Oh, that's
Cake wine.
Super
wine in a
legit.
can.
Destroy.
Yeah.
But you're not
There's
drinking
no
White
Hey,
like a wine cooler.
Bubs
Just wine
approves.
cooler.
Bubs
I've never
is
had
into
one
it.
of these
Wine in a can.
things.
Way into
That's
that.
really good.
Can we take a
White
moment
claw is the white girl
to
drink.
drinking?
But it's from New Zealand. It's Sauvignon Blanc. It's my favorite drink. And it's from New Zealand, and I really like it.
Yeah, no, I'm hip.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay,
Reel
sorry.
it in, guys. Come on, we're doing a show
Okay.
here. Let's
Yeah,
reel
let's
it
be
in.
serious.
Thank you, Satan.
I just
Thank you, Satan.
Well, now you want us to be serious.
Coronavirus.
Should have barked up that tree
Okay,
before we started drinking.
these things, I'm just saying things again so that we can get on track, but we already
I
drank to
drink.
these things. Anyway,
Drank to these
these things don't imitate clothes, just flesh and bone.
Greedy picks it up
Size
and-
large. What do you wear, Clark?
So what?
I wear a size large too.
So do I. So do most of us. Doubt if it got to
Nothing.
more than one or two of us. but it got to somebody. Somebody in this room ain't what he's supposed to be.
What are we gonna do?
Can there be some kind of test to find out who's what?
Like a corona test? Like a coronavirus?
Oh, timely.
Right.
I liked it. No, that was funny. That was good.
Threw that in there.
Serum test, possibly. Then you have to deal with noses.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
Fuchs?
That was me.
Fuchs.
Wow.
Fuchs.
Right, why not?
What's that?
It's a simple blood typing test. This thing,
blood.
Instead of drinking, I'm going to eat my own pie.
Oh, God, that's so much better.
Pie.
Why can't we have pie, Billy Ray? What the fuck?
I'll have like a sugar crash or some shit.
Okay, do that.
Nice.
I like
It's a simple blood typing test. This thing's blood chemistry is different from ours. Basically, we mix someone's blood with uncontaminated human blood. If we don't get the proper serum reaction, then that person isn't human.
Well, whose uncontaminated blood we gonna use?
We've got blood plasma and storage.
How convenient.
Dr. Kappa. But Dr. Kappa, how long will it take you to prepare this?
I'm drinking just for that accent alone.
Dr. Kappa.
A couple hours.
We'll get to it.
Gary unhinges a key from his belt and hands it to Dr. Copper. Dr. Copper and Fuchs head for the infirmary.
That thing to get to the dogs. I thought we stopped it in time.
Hopper thinks they swallowed pieces of it during the fight.
And that was enough.
Gary, the rest of you, come here.
The men rush in. Fuchs and Copper stand by the open plasma refrigerator. The inside is a mess of dried blood. The bladders have been ripped open. Copper is ghastly pale.
Somebody got to the blood. Sabotage.
My God!
Was it broken into?
No, somebody opened it, closed it, and then locked it.
Well, who's got access to it?
I guess I'm the only one.
And I've got the only key.
Would that test have worked?
I think so.
Somebody else sure as hell thought so.
Who else could have used that key?
No one. I give it to Copper when he needs it.
Could anyone have gotten it from you?
I don't see how. When I'm finished, I return it right away.
When was the last time you used it?
Wow. A day or so ago, I guess.
Well, I suppose it's possible someone might have lifted it from me, but
that key ring of yours is always hooked to your belt. Now, how can somebody get it? Shit. Now, how can somebody get to it without you knowing?
Look, it was hooked to my belt.
I did it.
I haven't been near that refrigerator.
Wow.
What's happening?
Papa's the only one who has any business with it.
Now, wait a second, Gary. You've been in here on several occasions, you whore.
And the doc thought of the test.
So what?
Doing an accent.
Is that supposed to leave him in the clear? Bullshit.
Hey, Sanchez.
Sanchez in
We
terror.
don't need no fucking badges.
Sanchez in terror runs at top
that's not
speed through the narrow
fun.
corridors, opening and shutting doors. He reaches a small armory, a glass case set in the wall. A half a dozen rarely used guns are inside. He hears the clamor of feet and voices as the other are nearing. He breaks the glass and grabs a shotgun, then a box of shells. The other arrives at the end of the hallway. Gary pulls his handgun and points.
Put that down.
No.
Oh, God.
I'll put this right through your fucking head.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Put it away, Sanchez.
You guys gonna
Put
let
it
him?
away.
You guys gonna let him give orders? He could be one of those things.
Oh. Hey, Sanchez. Just put it away.
Oh my God.
Still trembling, he tosses the shells back into the broken case, leans the gun against the wall, and begins to sob. Knowles skates over to him. The men watch as Gary lowers his gun.
Oh. Who talks?
Gary.
What?
That means it's Alexis
Where am
Green.
I?
Page 70.
Up at 70?
We're on 70 already? Oh,
Already?
Time flies when you're having
We've been going for an hour and a
I
half.
don't know about.
Caroline, honestly, where have you been? What have you been reading?
Porn.
Acceptable.
I don't know.
Lost one.
Poor Alexis.
I didn't go near that plasma. But I guess you'll all rest easier if someone else is in charge.
Go on. Go on, Gary. Go
Can't see anyone
on.
objecting to you, Norris.
Sorry, gentlemen. I don't think I'd be up to it. Haven't been feeling well lately.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Maybe it should be someone a bit more even-tempered, child.
What you
Any objections?
Somebody who's been drinking white wine spritzers.
The men have gathered to discuss plans. Furtive and untrustworthy glances are passed across the room.
From what we know, this thing likes to go shit. One-on-one. So we stick together as much as possible in 2s and 3s.
What do we do about these three?
We got morphine, don't we?
Tying off in the bathroom.
Well, we keep them loaded. Stash them here in the rec room and watch them. 4 hours.
Morphine? You know, I was pretty close to that dog, too.
We should sleep in shifts.
Right. Half of us awake at all times.
How are we gonna try to find out who's who's who?
Can you think of any other tests?
I'll try. Or I could sure use Copper's help.
You could 86 that thought right now, man.
Also, when this thing turns,
Damn.
I have to open another wine. Excuse me.
That is a big ass can.
Is this one from
that
New
looks like
Zealand
an
as
oil
well?
drum, Barbara.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I got it at Rite Aid. I was so excited
Acceptable.
when I went there. I was
Do you have
looking
a prescription for that shit?
No, I was looking for J&B. But do you know they don't sell J&B at Rite Aid?
It's a damn shame.
So
we
that's why I
should.
got that. Anyway, I know, but I looked on the internet. I think I had to order it on the internet or something. I don't know. Anyway, this thing, I already drank to that. We already drank to that. It turns slowly at first. I think we can handle it in that state. But if it ever got to full power, from what I saw of that Norwegian camp, I just don't know. It would probably take it an hour or more to get like that. So no matter what anybody's doing, we all return to this room every 20 minutes. Anybody gone longer than that? Anybody trying to leave?
The dead of winter, 6 months of darkness ahead. Palmer fights the cold as he works dismantling the engine of the helicopter. He frowns, searching for something.
Where's that Magneto? Can't find a darn thing around here.
Jesus.
Hopper, Clark, and Gary sit moodily together on a couch. Norris awkwardly prepares to give them their injections, and he is new at this. Child stands guard with the torch.
Oh, do it. You're going to break the needle in my arm.
No, Doc. He's doing a real fine job.
McCready and Sanchez are foraging through the trash dump.
Oh, look for shoes too, and burned cloth.
Norris has begun dismantling the radio, and he rubs at his chest as he disengages the headset. Following Knowles as he skates through the labyrinth, checking waste bins, pausing to look behind shelves in obscure hiding places. McCready passes him, coming the other way.
That thing's too smart to be hiding any more of its clothes, Mac Ready.
Thing?
Let's keep looking.
Fuchs is poring over a book. Several others lie open on his desk, and McCready pokes his head in the lab.
Oh, God damn it.
How's it going?
Nothing yet. But
Nothing.
Fuck.
But McCready, I've been thinking, if our dog's changed by swallowing parts of that other one, you better see to it that everyone prepares their own food and eat out of cans.
Oh, shit. Gotcha, Brea.
A siren goes off, signaling the end of a 20-minute period. Sanchez pulls himself out of the trash can. Palmer carries a large part of the
I
help.
love me some Brea Grant.
All the way near the supply storage cubicle.
You know, it's Brea.
Makes it like a heavy
Who
helicopter.
doesn't love Brea?
Hey,
I call her Brea. Like
Pauses by from the other direction.
Like La Brea
Incorrect.
carpets?
Incorrect.
No,
Like
it's
La Brea.
Not the way you say my name.
No.
All right, here we go. Back to set. Boom.
Giles,
Come on, let's do it.
where's that Magneto from Chopper 1?
Ain't it there?
No, it ain't there. Would I be asking if it were there?
Oh, move it, Palmer.
You got a drink on that one.
Got a drink.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
We were just hanging out here.
With a bunch of radio gear. The three move down the hall towards their appointed rendezvous at the rec room.
Start taking apart those snowmobiles next, huh?
Several of the men are preparing their food, opening cans, heating them in pots. Knowles warily approaches Blair's tool shed with a tray of food. He hears a pounding from within.
Knowles?
Rico.
Up at 75.
Hold up. Wait. Oh, okay. Got it.
You know you're drinking.
Knowles,
I
do you
know,
have
I
our
know.
goodies?
I screwed that pooch. All right.
That's all right.
And we're back. Action.
I got your goodies, super dude.
He peeks in through the opening and sees Blair nailing himself in from the inside.
What you doing?
Nobody's getting in here. You can tell them all that.
Well, who the hell do you think wants to get in there with you?
He slides the tray in the slot, is immediately shoved back.
Now, why'd you go in?
I don't want any more food with sedatives in it. I know what you're up to. Don't think I don't. If anyone tries to get in here, I got rope. And I'll hang myself before it gets to me.
You promise? Crazy white side motherfucker.
Palmer works on the snowmobile. Sanchez resumes searching through the trash. Man, Sanchez in the trash. McCready slashes into the huge uninflated weather balloons, rendering them useless. Tanks of helium and hydrogen are stacked nearby. Knowles does the dishes. His cassette player plays. Childs continues fighting the three men.
Gotta go to the can, Childs.
Be quick.
Clark walks to the head. Childs moves back to the middle of the room. As the guard, he is much more vulnerable in this position. The light begins to flicker. The soft purr of the generator fades.
Oh, no.
The lights go out.
Childs, that a fuse?
No, the generator. You got the auxiliary box just off the kitchen. Go to it. What's that damn flashlight? You fellas okay over there? Cut that out, Copper. No, what's taking you?
I'm working it. Nothing's happening.
That's impossible, man. Nothing. Shit.
Ding.
Ding.
That's impossible, man. Okay, Clark. Out of the John where I can see you.
Short it out or something.
Something.
Clark?
Something. God damn it.
Clark! You come on out here.
Child lights the tip of his torch, allowing him a strong candlelight. Gary's no longer there.
Where's Gary?
Dr. Copper looks numbly at the empty seat next to him. Childs finds the portable siren and blares it. McCready, Palmer, and Sanchez heave the call and head for the compound. Childs jerks his head around in different directions.
Where are you, Gary? Don't you move an inch, Copper. No, bring me a goddamn flashlight.
Somebody's taking it. I can't find it.
Clark, you want me to come in after you?
Yeah, baby.
McCready, Sanchez, and Palmer come in from the outside. They bump into each other trying to get their bearings from the lack of Palmer, the only one who seems to have one, turns on his flashlight.
What happened?
McCready, that you?
Yeah.
It's the generator, I think. No power.
Well, let's get down there.
McCready!
What?
Gary's missing.
Oh, shit. Well, hang on.
Oh,
In
geez,
the
man.
generator room, Palmer and McCready stumbling down the stairs. McCready turns around and looks.
Where's Sanchez?
Both look around. Sanchez is gone. Palmer's light finds the motion or generator.
Great.
Billy Ray.
Fuel pump. It's gone.
There's still something.
You got to get up to supply, Mac. If we don't get this thing started soon, it'll freeze on us and we'll never get it going.
The lab door is open. Fuchs, holding a small candle, walks out. As he passes, the shoulder of a man springs into frame. Palmer is feverishly working underneath the generator on his back. The temperature continues to drop rapidly. Child swats himself to keep warm while still keeping an eye on Dr. Cochran. Freak rushes out of the supply room with the fuel pump, bumps into somebody.
Who is that? Sanchez. Hey. Who?
Mac, where the hell is that pump?
McCready holds the flashlight for Palmer. Their breath puffs of white smoke.
Somebody definitely messed with it.
We gonna make it?
Hope so. Another 10, 15 minutes. What I don't get is
the sound of a screeching from somewhere in the compound. The two men's faces lock fear. The generator has been repaired and the lights within the compound are back on. Grim and tense, everyone is present but Fuchs. Eyes flit from man to man. Palmer, Knowles, and Sanchez are spread out about the room, keeping as much distance as possible from the rest. Norris and Childs are tying the doctor, Clark, and Gary to the couch. McCready prepares several makeshift blow torches as he kneels on the ground.
Where were the flashlights?
Screw the flashlights. Where the hell were you?
tons of stuff's been missing around here. Magnetos, cables, wire.
Kitchen things, too.
Anybody seen Fuchs? Or hear him?
No answer.
Huh?
Things.
Things.
Childs glares at Gary as he begins to tie him in.
Where'd you go? I said where? Where'd you go?
It was dark. Final light.
You lying bastard.
I rather don't like your tone.
You sit back down.
Childs wails on him with his right hand. Both go tumbling. McCready and Norris dive in.
Enough!
McCready, furious, pulls Childs away. Norris, breathing heavily from the activity, massages his chest. Strong, stormy winds overhead batter the roofing.
That storm's gonna start ripping any minute. So we don't have much time.
He thrusts a blowtorch to Child's stomach.
We've got to find Fuchs. When we find him, kill him.
Why?
If he's one of those things,
Aha!
we've got to get to him before he changes. Knowles, you. Oh, wait. Okay, that wasn't good. That's another motivation thing. I didn't know what I was saying.
We're not giving your motivation.
Fucked up.
He's one of those things. We've got to get to him before he changes. Knowles, you and Child, and I'll check the outside shacks. Sanchez, you and Palmer, search the inside.
I ain't going with Sanchez. I ain't going with him. I'll go with Childs.
Well, screw you, man.
I ain't going with you.
Me.
But who says I want you going with me?
Cut the bullshit, okay? Sanchez, you come with us. Norris, you stay here.
Okay.
Any of them move, you fry them. And if you hear anything,
Scared it.
Oh, fuck.
anything
Damn it.
Scared it.
at all, you let loose the siren. We all meet back here in 20 minutes, regardless. And everybody, watch over whoever you're with. Real close. Let's move.
McCready and Knowles, wearing their snowshoes and using flares for light, pull themselves along the steadying rope that leads to Blair's shed. They're careful to keep an eye on one another. Sanchez heads off in the direction of another shack. One of the many doors creak open. Childs and Palmer stealthily move in the next corridor, and Palmer falls 2 steps behind.
What'd we ever do to these things? Anyway.
Y'all know what time it is. Haha.
Childs freezes and snaps his head around facing Palmer.
What?
Don't walk behind me.
Knowles and McWeeny arrive at Blair's shack. They peer in through the spaces between the boards. A light burns as Blair is seated eating out of a can, and a hangman's noose dangles from the ceiling nearby.
Hey, Blair. Has Fuchs been out here?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I changed my mind. I'd like to come back inside. I don't want to stay out here anymore. Funny things.
Things.
I hear funny things out here.
Have you come across Fuchs?
Fuchs? No, it's not Fuchs. You gotta let me back in. I won't harm anybody. I promise.
We'll see.
I promise. I'm much better now. I'll be good. I'm all better. Don't leave me here.
Norris continues his watch on the sedated trio. He anxiously tries to keep an eye on the various entrances behind and in front of him, and he rubs his chest, and he keeps rubbing that goddamn chest.
Rub your chest. Rub your chest. Rub it harder.
I'm getting worried about you. You ought to have a checkup.
That's fine. It's fine. Let's just not get worried about anything just now. Drink anything.
After all this mess, then.
After all this mess.
The winds are thick and vicious now. McCready and Knowles pull themselves along the rope, fighting their way up the slope. A violent gust sends McCready's body horizontal, but still hanging onto the rope. The wind slaps him back. His flare and torch tumble back towards Knowles, and he saves the torch from rolling down the hill. McCready, lying vulnerable, watches Knowles pull his way towards him. He tenses, and Knowles reaches him. A beat. He hands him back his torch. Relieved, McCready pulls himself upright. Close on the thick power cables that line the wall. They've been torn apart. Childs and Palmer examine.
Jewelry light cables.
Cut bullshit. Been pulled apart.
McCready's shack. They reach the top. The remaining flare, their only light, very dark. They stand on either side of the door. McCready shoves it open, pitch black inside. McCready flips the light switch, but it doesn't work. They enter, hunched, torches ready. A mess. Single flare illuminating the ceiling. Almost all of the corrugated steel roofing is gone and ripped off.
Where's the roof? The storm do that?
Couldn't be possible. Must have weighed 1.5 tons.
Knowles kicks over a chair. A naked, fleshy object bounds high out of the air. Knowles thrusts out his torch, catching the breasts of the inflatable woman. She pops and is sucked out through the hole in the roof.
Goddamn white women.
Underground rickety corridor. Palmer stands by his
hole.
That wasn't in the movie either.
No. But it's in this one.
I like it. I like it.
Palmer stands by as Childs undergoes the many locks to the room that houses his plants. One by one, Palmer twists his head in every which direction. Childs pulls open the heavy door, and a flush of snow and wind pulls back on him.
My babies.
They enter.
Somebody broke in.
Now who go and do?
Child.
Let go of me.
Don't get near them. The plants, they're alive. These things can imitate anything.
What's it gonna do? Oh shit.
The things are imitating pot plants.
Oh.
That's the movie.
There's 2, right?
Ding, ding.
Oh yeah, two.
What's it gonna do being a plant? Hey.
You gotta burn them.
Now hold on, you dumb mother.
Oh God.
He starts burning it.
You stupid son of a.
Palmer, his mouth agape with terror, screams and points to the closing door to the rear. Childs whirls, Fuchs, one arm outstretched, swings into view, an axe onto his chest, pins his frozen body to the inside of the door. Laura, startled by the scream, turns on the siren. Sanchez.
I want to note real quick that there's a handwritten note in the script with that says horror beat.
Yeah, really? Like who wrote that?
Horror bit. Who wrote that?
Someone awesome.
It was me.
Thanks, Satan.
Sanchez has joined Childs and Palmer, and the body of Fuchs is still pinned to the door. Sanchez tries to wrench the axe loose. It is still too deeply embedded and won't budge.
Whoever put this through him is one badass and strong mother.
No one's that strong, boy.
Opening and closing doors as they make their way back to the rec room. They keep their distance from each other, watching each other while they walk.
Why didn't it imitate Fuchs? Isn't that its number to get more recruits?
Wasn't enough time. Generator was at what? 30 minutes? Takes the bastard an hour, maybe 2 to absorb somebody.
Why Fuchs?
He was working on the test. Fuchs must have been on to something. These bastards got scared and got rid of him. Oh,
Ding.
Something.
hey, where's
McWeeny?
I'm here. I'm right here. I'm right here.
No, McWeeny.
A strong
I'm right
drip
here. I'm here.
rigid, immobile faces listening to the storm overhead.
How long they been out now?
45 minutes.
We better start closing off the outside hatchways.
Al, Sanchez, and Palmer closing off and bolting the entrances to the camp.
All of you, come here.
Through the fogged-up windows, a figure can be seen approaching the main compound. It pulls and drags its way on a squat guide rope, fighting the gale force winds. The men, weapons in hand, huddle at the main doorway. They have bolted. Sleet and hail send Knowles rolling in from the outside. The weary Knowles kneels on the floor and gasps for air. The others surround him.
Where's McCready?
Cut him loose of the line up by his shack.
Cut him loose.
When we were up poking around his place, I found this.
He pulls out a thick bundle of heavy clothing. It is mutilated and partially burned.
Mutilated.
Mutilated.
It's mutilated.
He pulls off the jacket to show the inside collar. Close on name tag, it reads R.J. McReady.
It was stashed in this old coal furnace. Wind must have dislodged it. I don't think you saw me find it.
What's happening? What is happening? Rico!
I'm with you. Made sure I got ahead of him on the tow line.
Come on, yo.
Come on, Rico, we need you.
Rico, professional actor.
I got you.
No, you're an actor. Why can't you just do this drunk?
Honestly, man, yeah, why? Like, that's a great question from Dave.
Oh my
Like,
God,
explain
it's
yourself.
I'm a child of the theater. I should know how to just keep it going. All right, here we go. Let's go.
Where are we?
And
Come on, Rico.
action.
I believe in you.
I got this. Thank you, baby. Made sure I got ahead of him on the tow line on the way back. Cut him loose.
Yes, you did it.
What?
Hey, Chris Dortch, that's your line.
I see Knowles. We're on page
Sanchez.
90.
90.
Bottom of 90.
Chris, come on, dude.
I'm fucking blowing
Come
this
on,
so
Chris.
hard right
You're
now.
like
Jesus
basically
Christ.
in charge
McCready?
here. This is embarrassing. for
I
you.
know.
It's so fun,
Jesus.
What are we on? What are we on?
91. Top of 91. Just go to the top of 91.
Top of 91.
You're all
No,
losing.
I have
Go
a
to
line.
98. Go to
Excuse me.
98.
I have a line. that
I have a
will-
line on 98.
I have a line that.
When do you think it got to him?
Because I have rights. All right.
No, what?
So
Palmer.
I say, made sure I got ahead of him on the tow line on the way back. ... Cut him loose. And
Okay.
Sanchez says,
McCready. Sanchez.
Yep,
and
McCready.
I say, he's
Chris,
one of
come
them.
on, dude.
I almost-
We're good. We're good now. Top of 91.
All right, now we go. Top of 91. Let's go.
Pie.
Yes.
I'm not lying.
You're
Want
welcome.
me to send you home with someone else? Just a piece.
Making movies
No.
is really hard. Do you guys understand? Everybody who's watching at home, this is fucking hard. You think it's like easier?
Chris, your line.
She's
Top of
right. It's
91.
really hard.
Yep.
It's too hard.
When do you think it got to him?
We're making money for the people.
Could have been any time, anywhere.
If it did get to him.
Look, man.
When the lights went out,
Would have been a perfect time.
right, Gary was missing, and Sanchez.
Fuck you, Palmer.
This is just what it wants, to pit us against each other.
A pounding on the door.
Open up. Hey, somebody open up. It's me, McCready. Come on, damn it. The tow line snapped. Been crawling around like a seal out here.
Bullshit. He's got to know damn well I cut it.
Let's
That was
open.
my harsh whisper. But that's when.
Hell no.
You think he's changed into one of those things?
He hasn't had enough time.
Nothing.
Great.
Oh, God damn it.
human could have made it back here in this weather without a guideline.
Where is everybody? I'm a half frostbit.
Let's open it now.
Why are you so damn anxious to let him in here?
He's so close. He's maybe our best chance to blow him away.
No, just let him freeze out there.
What if we're wrong about him?
Then we're wrong.
Damn.
The supply window.
What are we going to...
All right. We've got no choice now.
McCready's voice is heard cursing as he appears to be stumbling around looking for a light switch.
Shit. Oh my God. God damn it. What's going on out there?
That's all.
Mulder stands by his child, tries to not locked.
What are you doing?
What? Well, damn it, he's got the keys.
Childs rips a nearby fire axe off the wall and begins hacking away at the door.
What are you doing?
You're a dead man, McCready, or dead whatever the hell you are.
Frank.
Did that say think? You found we found your clothes, the ones you tried to burn.
What clothes?
You've been made, McCready.
Somebody's trying to mark me. You bastard. Trying to frame me.
Childs cautions to Palmer as he prepares for one last blow.
Moving slow now.
Crunch. The door gives. The men move in. Their blowtorches ready. They freeze. McCready stands before them holding a lighted flare. His hair and clothing are covered with snow. His cheeks and nose blackened by frostbite. Tucked under his arm is an entire box of dynamite. He holds the flare dangerously close to the open box.
Anyone messes with me, the whole camp goes. Put those torches on the floor and back off.
They do. In the hallway, the men step backwards carefully.
Back way off.
They keep retreating.
Yeah, back off. Where's the rest?
Knowles and Norris, who have silently crept in through the supply window, come flying through the hacked-up door and barrel into McCready. McCready spins Knowles off and rips into Norris, sending him crashing violently into the wall. Knowles tackles McCready's legs on the floor. The others rush him. McCready, still in control of the dynamite and flare, bellows.
Don't help me. I mean it.
They stop.
Cool, man. We ain't near you, man. Stay cool.
Yeah, really.
That was really bad acting. Can I do that?
Yeah, we're gonna honestly need a do-over on that one. If you could just take it from the top of the
That should
line.
be a drinking bad acting.
My Hollywood card should be taken away from that. All right, take two, please. Thank you.
Action.
It's cool, man. We ain't near you, man. Stay cool.
Yeah, man,
Do
really.
it again. Do it one more time.
All right.
Let me give you the lead-in. Let me give you the lead-in.
Thank you. I
Like we do
appreciate
it for
that.
really doing it on the set. I'm going to give you the
And
lead-in.
action.
The lead-in line is, so help me. I mean it.
It's cool, man. We ain't near you, man. Stay cool.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Dude, so much better. So much better that
How
time.
many times am I gonna have to start this fucking line?
Actor in Hollywood.
Poor Cargill.
We're just thinking this when we're quadrupling your
He
line.
says relax.
And I didn't have to drink. All right.
Anybody touches me? We go.
Norris, lying on the floor, coughs as if gasping for breath. He quivers for a moment and then is still. Knowles crawls over him and shakes them. A beat.
I don't think he's breathing.
Go untie the doc. Get him in here. Bring the others too. From now on, no one gets out of my sight.
Norris's body is plopped on the examination table. Copper studies it and is steadied by some of the men. McCready continues to keep his distance. Copper places an oxygen mask over Norris's face and then rips open his shirt.
So, you sweethearts had yourselves a little trial. I just may have to kill you on general principle, Knowles.
Copper begins swathing Norris's chest with a gelatin.
Ever occurred to the jury that anybody could have gotten to some of my clothes and stuck them up there?
We ain't buying that.
Damn it, quit the bickering and give me a hand. Wheel that fibrillator over here.
Sanchez pushes over the fibrillator. Copper climbs up on the table and straddles Norris's chest. Unnoticed, Clark paws the contents of the instrument tray behind.
Palmer, turn on that oxygen and hold the mask over his face. Childs, grab his shoulders. Shoulders. Shoulders.
Grab your drink.
That's not it. Okay, we're not gonna read that thing. Okay.
What? Wait, what? Again? Okay.
Palmer! Turn on that oxygen and hold the mask over his face. Child, grab his shoulders.
You're gonna have to sleep sometime.
Quiet down. Turn that thing on.
Ding! Sanchez presses the on button.
Hey, Brad.
Now hold him.
I'm not sure.
I'm a real light sleeper, child.
Enough! McReady!
Dr. Copper presses the prongs on Norris's chest and shoots a bolt of current. Norris's body heaves upward, a slight crackling sound and an odd chirp through the oxygen mask.
Again! More current this time. Sanchez!
Several more jolts from the prongs. Clark's hand has found a scalpel. He gently lifts it out, bringing it to his side.
And if anyone tries to awake me...
Damn you, McReady!
Norris's body begins bounding up, more crackling and popping. His chest begins to break open and spread. The mask a hideous mewing escaping from Norris's distorted mouth. The men incredulous. Copper scrambles off his chest and falls to the floor.
God, what?
They watch on in stunned horror as that thing that was Norris begins to change, to spread awkwardly on the slab. Its clothes tearing, a shoe splits in half and falls to the floor, exposing the beginnings of a talon. McCready charges.
So I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that.
Get out of the way!
He unloads with a stream of flame. The body writhes in pain, belching and hissing. The slab catches fire. It struggles, lunges for the floor, straightens up, and moves a few feet. A black and yellow substance rips through its trousers and squirts to the floor.
Squirt!
A defibrillating machine in flame. McCready watches the smoking particles of ooze and fascination. Within seconds, the fire is out. The men stand around in awe. McCready continues to observe the small particles. McCready, still carrying the industrial torch, has maneuvered all the men into the rec room. He holds Gary's 44. He has untaped the explosives from his chest and laid them on the nearby table next to the 2 boxes of dynamite.
What you got in mind, McCready?
A little test.
What kind of test?
I'm sure a lot of you already know. Hummer! You and Copper tie everyone down. Real tight.
What for?
For your health.
Let's rush him. He's not going to blow us all up.
Damn if I won't.
Hey, you ain't tying me up.
Then I'll have to kill you.
Then kill me.
McCready points the 44 at Child's head.
Okay, like in the movie, this was an extreme close-up. So here you go. I mean it.
Cock.
I guess you do.
McCready, scalpel raised. McCready spins and fires 3 shots, point blank.
Boom, boom, boom!
Flying backwards. The others themselves about to pounce a stop as McCready whirls the torch and gun back towards them. The men being tied securely to couches and chairs.
I Clark too.
Dead.
Norris looked pretty dead himself. Bullets don't kill these things.
McCready turns on a Bunsen burner while he cuts the rubber covering off an electrical cord, exposing the copper wire. All the while he keeps an eye on the men.
We should have jumped his ass.
Oh, now Copper, you tie Palmer up.
He does.
We're going to draw a little bit of everybody's blood. And then Null says something.
Rico!
What are you gonna do? Drink it?
Knowles.
Dramatic pause, people.
Okay.
Come on, we all went to acting school.
Okay.
I did not.
Act like it.
Okay.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, we're doing a pickup on this little piece.
Right.
Watching Norris in there gave me the idea that maybe every part of you bastards is a whole. Every piece of you is self-sufficient, an animal unto itself. When a man bleeds, it's just tissue, but blood from one of you things. Oh,
Dings. Y'all know what to do. Come on.
Won't obey. It's a newly formed individual with a built-in desire to protect its own life. When attacked, your blood will try and survive and crawl away from a hot needle.
Sanchez grimacing as Dr. Copper pinches a scalpel to his thumb and collects a small portion of his blood in a dish. All the men have been tied up. Palmer, Childs, and Gary on the small couch. The others, including the lifeless corpse of Clark, in chairs. Copper returns the plate to the table and sets it down in line with the other plates of blood that he's collected. The names of each man have been scribbled onto the plates. McCready slides the doctor a fresh one.
Now you.
Copper cuts his thumb. His blood dribbles into the plate. He stands nervously for a beat.
Slide it back here.
He does.
Now step back.
Copper steps backwards, moisture beginning to collect on his brow. McCready begins to heat the copper wire. The men watch intently. The wire begins to glow. McCready points the torch directly at the doctor, both of them perspiring. McCready lifts the glowing wire from the flame, and the doctor is dead still. McCready slowly touches the wire to the doctor's plate. A soft hiss. McCready hits it again and tries once more. The same soft hiss. McCready and the doctor both let out a sigh.
I guess you're right, Dr. Cooper.
Huh?
Huh?
I guess you're right.
Oh, it says, I guess you're okay on my script.
Yeah.
Drink.
Whatever.
Drink.
Oh, drink. That was
Typographical errors. Drink.
That was an ad-lib. I was ad-libbing.
No.
Ad-libbing.
No.
You know the rules. Come on.
Oh, look.
Guess you're okay.
He's paraphrasing.
Everybody is all switched around on my thing. Yeah, it's awesome.
Use that defibrillator on Norris if you are one of them.
He hands Cooper the torch.
Watch them.
He cuts himself with a scalpel and begins collecting his own blood.
Now. Okay, this is a good line. Now I'll show you what I already know.
He heats the wire and puts it into the plate. The same harmless hissing. All eyes continue to watch as he tries again. Childs mumbles.
Bullshit.
We'll see. Let's try Clark.
He heats the wire and lays it in Clark's dish, the hissing.
So Clark was human, huh? So that makes you a murderer.
Whatever. No, that's not in the script. I just said that.
Whatever.
Palmer now.
Wow.
That's Palmer's plate in front of him and heats the wire.
It's pure nonsense. This won't prove a damn thing.
Thought you'd feel that way, Gary. You were the only one who
Gary.
gotten to that blood plasma. We'll do you last.
Screech! The blood howls, trying to crawl off the plate. Palmer bolts forward with incredible force, racing for McCready. His face spitting, his mouth roaring, dragging the couch, Childs and Gary with him. He smashes onto McCready, knocking him over the table.
Copper!
It all happened too fast. Copper tries to get off a burst of flame. The ever-changing Palmer breaks his bonds and leaps
Oh
on
my
the
God!
The others stand helpless, struggling at their bindings. Everybody's screaming. Everything is going to shit. People are running and screaming and all sorts of shit. The big torch slaps against the wall. Palmer goes screaming hysterically. McCready tries to back of Russ and Brady's face. He likes to do the bounce from the table. Palmer arguably body like a propeller blade, struggling to keep on balance. McCready waits until Palmer's back spins around, facing him only 2 yards away. McCready flings the roll onto the ever-revolving second mount and leaps onto the couch, covering Child's body with it. They burned the shit out of him.
You're not auctioning race cars, Billy. You slow
They
down.
burned the shit out of him. So now they're back doing plates again.
Yeah.
McCready
okay.
heats the wire once again. Both he and Knowles have torches aimed at Sanchez. Sanchez is near tears. The wire is dipped into the plate. Hiss. Sanchez breaks down and sobs. Child sits stoically while he watches the preparations for his turn.
Let's do it, Buana.
Knowles and Sanchez take aim 5 feet away. Fierce, determined. The wire comes off the flame of the plate. It's hissing.
They don't call him Bruton for nothing.
Muscles in Child's face melt into a sigh.
Charles. Get me the hell away from. Cut me loose, damn it.
Oh, you missed
Mother. Said it. You didn't hear
Oh,
me.
I didn't hear it. Oh, I guess I get the drink.
I completely said it.
All eyes snap towards station manager Gary. Child suddenly realizing
It's hard to follow. Sorry, go ahead.
Get me the hell away from. Cut me loose, damn it.
Knowles rips away his bindings. The other two stand guard. Child scrambles off the couch and onto the floor. Gary stares grimly ahead. Child soaking his clothing with a can of gasoline. He is then surrounded. The room tenses. Adrenaline pumps. Breathing halts. The burner, the torches, the wire, the plate, Gary's face. Hiss. McCready tries it again. Hiss. The men breathe. Their torches are lowered. Knowles throws his on the floor. Sanchez and Child slip in the chairs, and McCready rides his place. A long silence. Sanchez weeps quietly with relief.
I know you gentlemen have been through a lot. But when you find the time, I'd rather not spend the rest of the winter tied to this fucking cow!
Oh, Caroline, forever.
Oh,
Fantastic.
I don't know if I can finish my whole.
This is the finish, right?
I'm
Okay, here we go.
drinking. Wait, is
You
that the
all
finish
agreed to
line?
this. You signed the waiver. I just want to let
I
you know
don't
that.
know, but
That's the finish the drinking.
Drink, Tracie.
That was a half a glass of
scary to
bourbon.
me.
I ran out of ice and mixers like
I'm
14
the
days
same.
ago.
Child starts to
Almost
giggle.
empty.
The strain on McCready's jaw begins to lessen, and Gary sits catatonic. Knowles scalds at Child's uncontrollable laughter. The infectious rasping causes McCready a slight smile as he looks up, taking comfort in the sound of the raging Antarctic wind vibrating the roof. Knowles, untying Gary, grumbles at Child's.
Shut the damn hell up!
Childs wipes his eyes and grins over toward McCready. His smile faded. McCready is now stone-faced. Child's grin goes stale in sudden realization.
Blair.
The wind rumbles. The storm is at its peak. McCready, Childs, and Knowles, guided by their flares, pull themselves along the rope, headed for Blair's shack. The door is wide open. He ain't nowhere to be seen. Empty. A few of the floorboards are loose, and they pull them up, and they stare down into a large hole beneath the planking. Something is down there. The hole is some 15 feet deep. Its dimensions are the same as the shack. Crudely fashioned, a patchwork job but streamlined. Sheets of corrugated steel are visible. The object appears to be unfinished.
Oh.
Rico!
Shit. Shut the hell damn up. What is it?
God Damn it.
Everything. Everything. Oh, everything. Everything.
Great, great.
Everything.
Billy Ray confused me. That's my story.
Everything that's been missing.
I just wanted to give Barbara a shout out because she's so goddamn adorable tonight.
Killing
The
it.
fucking
Crushing.
costume changes are killing me.
Yeah.
I really like props.
God, yes.
There's got nothing on Barbara Crampton's costume change.
No one.
I just want
That's the kind of commitment we need on this
Only
show.
15
All right, here we
pages
go.
away.
Ready? Spaceship of some kind.
everything that's been missing.
Spaceship of some kind.
Smart SOB. He put it together piece by piece.
Where was he trying to go?
Any place but here.
He pulls out a dozen tightly wrapped sticks of dynamite.
But he ain't gonna make it.
Amidst the howling, all the screeching, the men jump. McCready lights the fuse as they make it to the exit. He tosses it in. Explosion echoes behind them. Their heads jerk in circles, searching in the blackness. Some 20 yards to the rear, something swooshes down, severing the line. The wind sends the men tumbling along the ice. Childs loosens the line and is blown away. McCready and Knowles have lost their torches, and they pull feverishly along the ground. The screeching closes in behind them. McCready loses his grip on the rope and is blown towards the main building. Knowles slides near the outside entrance to the dog kennel. McCready has found the broken window, and he rolls through it, landing on the frozen plants below. Something smashes as the glass above his head, trying to get in. He sprints for the door. Fuchs's frozen body is still pinned to the axe. He finally gets it open and lets himself in. McCready charges up the stairs from the plant room. He zooms down the twisting corridors. Sanchez pouring gasoline in empty bottles, preparing Molotov cocktails. Gary is connecting an electrical device. Wires attached to two portable generators. McCready appears to be injecting something into empty contact capsules, and the men work feverishly. Knowles rushes in with another box of
Jesus.
Rico!
Rico!
Damn it. What about Childs?
Ring Rico. Oh, child. He's over.
Make them short. They'll go off quicker if we need to use them.
I got one job.
Drink.
You all know what this is.
Chris?
What if it doesn't come?
Close, you guys.
It'll come. It needs us.
Oh, God.
We're the only thing to imitate. Give us a hand.
They block the door.
You and Knowles got to block off the west bunks, the mess hall, and the kitchen.
Rico!
Rico! You crazy? He might be inside already.
It's a chance we got to take, Knowles! Knowles! It's a fucking
I was doing a solid protest.
Man,
Okay?
Knowles, listen to me, Knowles. Listen to me. We gotta force him to come down the east side to the door. We got rage, Knowles.
He just might wait us out.
Yelling at me.
Listen, I'm gonna blow the fucking generator when you get black.
Black? You can say black. I say black.
No, when you get back, you'll have to come for us.
I'm
for
already
free.
black.
I know what I know, Knowles. I know.
Just say it, Barb.
Drink? I don't even know anymore.
No,
Man, no, everybody. 12 pages.
12 pages.
No, we're so close. Listen to me. No, listen. This is really important because we've got portable heaters. We've got portable heaters, Knowles. We're gonna last longer.
Oh my God.
They start to leave.
Hold it.
He dispenses the capsules.
Sodium cyanide. We place them between. Okay, this was not in the movie.
No.
But this is kind of fun. Okay, listen to this, guys. Sodium cyanide. We place them between our cheeks and gums. This thing
That's hot.
Ding.
can't imitate. This was not in the movie, this scene.
Drink, Tracie.
Can't imitate anything.
Thing.
Caroline, you can't imitate anything that's dead.
A grim silence.
If it gets a hold of you, Tiffany Shepis, write
you.
down.
Are we doing the cyanide now?
Yes.
This is the
They're
cyanide
supposed to be fast and painless, Drew McWeeny. Now move.
Sanchez and Knowles inch their way through. McCready rips the linen, soaks the strips in gas, and stuffs them in the Molotov bottles. Gary tests the current on the door, popping, sparks, smoke.
Looks good.
1,000 volts. Should be enough.
Knowles pushes the
And
stove,
so-
reinforcing a locked door. 5 yards away, Sanchez maneuvers a refrigerator in front of another outlet. Sanchez hears a quiet, purring, bubbling sound. He turns to Knowles.
You hear that?
Hear what?
A blaring. They whip their attention to stereo speakers on either side of the kitchen, and rock music streams out. Top volume. The same loud music. McCready and Gary look to the three speakers attached to the walls. McCready yells his incomprehension to Gary. Gary tries to respond. Their voices drowned out. Empty ends the hallway. Another of the stereo speakers that lines the walls thunders. Knowles, in sudden realization, screams over the den and joints in the direction they came.
It's gotten to the pub. It's turning on the stereo.
What?
In between us and them. How are we going to get back?
Can't hear you.
McCready cursing rips the speakers off the wall.
Fucking A! What are they doing out there?
Knowles' scream can barely be heard.
McReady or MacReady.
MacReady.
A sharp red talon-like fingernail pierces the top of the door above Knowles' head. It saws downward.
The fingernail's coming.
Drips through the slit.
No, two pages.
Sanchez, eye bulging points. Knowles turns. A claw rips through the wood. Knowles dives to the floor. In the opposite direction behind Sanchez, another arm splits through the door of the refrigerator, extends itself 5 feet and yanks Sanchez back as if it were a puppet. Sanchez struggles, looking imploringly at Knowles. He bites down on his capsule. Knowles takes off like a speed skater.
A lot of stuff.
Get to the generator!
He opens the door, looks down the hall. No one. The speaker full speed down the maze. Left, right, totally reckless. He hits a straightaway. Sanchez's body from out of nowhere blasts through the hallway wall directly in Knowles' path. A thick arm pins the body to the other side. Unable to stop, Knowles skids out of control, banging into the sides of the wall, a cyanide capsule flying out of his mouth. Whatever the rest of it is, it starts to crumble through the wall. Knowles dives under the arm, somersaults to his feet, and takes off. McCready runs, McCready out of a turn, heading towards him.
Get back!
Generator!
Throw the generator!
Knowles blazes by him. McCready hears the snarls and screeches heading down. He streaks after Knowles. They make it in, lock the door. McCready tries to catch his breath, and Knowles shakes pants.
Well, shakes his pants?
No, he shakes and pants.
Dude, did you say shakes his pants?
Shakes pants.
Shake your pants. Shake your pants.
Please, another hashtag. Shake your pants.
Hashtag shake your pants. You guys heard
I'd
it.
like to say my line, please. I got a lot of shit from the last one.
Shaking my pants.
Go,
I'd like to redeem myself from the shaking pants line. Got Sanchez, ... World War III wouldn't mess with this fucker, ... Can go through walls, ... And it's like all over the place, ...
Down.
and get in your position.
Position my ass.
Ooh. It's one of those movies.
I'm gonna bump the jam. Okay, I'm gonna bump this up much as I can.
Boulder Dam might do it.
The loud music in the compound is turned off. McCready shuts off the lights and the men spread out. Silence. The men watch all the doors. Dead silence. Dark. Whispers.
Gary.
What? Oh,
Alexa,
how long's it been?
Oh, little over 2 hours.
Maybe it ain't coming.
Then we go after him.
Bet the last place you will ever go.
The sound of a door opening and closing far off. Another creaky door is opened, rustling, still far off. McCready and Nall spread further apart. The soft, bubbling, cooling sound, a slight scratch at the door. Gary's hand tightens around the generator switches, and the switching gets more pronounced. The scratching, that is. McCready cautions Gary with a whisper.
Wait.
The door begins to pound from the outside. Nalls and McCready light 2 cocktails each. The door booms. The room's foundations shake. The ceiling quivers. The gas bombs are cocked. From the roof of the thing roars down in their midst. Stunned, the men stumble back. McCready throws his gas bomb. Nalls the same. For a moment, it stands silhouetted in flame. Enormous, grotesque. Gary bolts for the main door. The thing's tongue spirals from his mouth and spears him. A good 2/3 of his body follow its tongue and engulfs Gary by the door. Another leg slaps off to the ground. McCready dodges still another appendage. Dies on the generator and throws the switch. The current rips through the door. Gary dies instantly.
Oh,
still caught in the door, sends it writhing in pain. It literally rips the door from its latches and pounds into the ground. Trying to shake it loose, falls, hobbles, scrambles out of the open. McCready dives through the window and out of the storm. The distant sound of a motor. Nall's battered and bloodied, his leg apparently broken, crawls along the ground. Another sound of bubbling and gurgling is heard well to the rear. He's closing. The terror forces him to drag faster, obviously to the pain. He reaches the bathroom stall, crawls in, locks it. The gurgling sounds. Leaning on the toilet seat, he looks about himself frantically. The presence pauses at the door, scratching. Nall's rips a crack, weather, slab of wood, cutting his fingers, tries to break it off the sliding. The strong blow begins to breach the tall door. Charles finally unhinges the beats of wood, brings the jagged end to the edge one side and rips to the rips. The motorized smumbling ears. The wall seems to explode. The tractor barrels into the lab. Its enormous shovel scooper tearing half the room to shreds. McCready drives. His eyes glint like a wild man's. He looks stark, raving, fucking goddamn mad. His frost now at an advanced stage resembles black warbane. He clenches a stick of dynamite between his teeth like a buccaneer's cut glass. 2 large compressed air tanks have been tied together at the top and are draped around his neck. They are marked hydrogen. They are used for the weather balloons. He pulls their tractor to a stop, yanks the stick from his mouth, grins and bellows.
Yes!
Hi, Dad.
Okay, Creep. Just you and me now. Be on your toes. We're gonna do a little remodeling.
McCready guns it through the next wall and into the infirmary. Medical equipment goes flying. The machine is powerful. The resuscitated wall is buckling under its force. A trail of viscous yellow ooze leads around a bend. Boom! McCready runs into the mess hall, shooting away tables, chairs. He sings out loud the lyrics of some Mexican song. All the while, he keeps his eyes on everything. Through the kitchen, the foundation crumbling, he sings on, gurgling and hissing. A taloned arm slinks around a corner and retreat.
Chime in if you know the words, old boy.
McCready plows through several more rooms before ending up the pub bar. He packs it up and retrieves a bottle of liquor from it.
You like whiskey? Come on, join me for a drink. Be good for you. Grow fangs on your chest.
The alcoholic takes another drink and rams through another wall. The tractor blazes into the rec room. McCready parks it directly in front of the hole in the roof created by the thing when it surprised him earlier.
Damn it! Ran out of gas.
He pulls off the heavy hydrogen tanks and drapes it over the tractor. As he talks, his eyes move like a hawk, passing from roof to doorways to rubble. Then the nights bristle through the gaping holes, stinging McCready with the cold. He winces at his mittenless, blackened fingers.
Sweetheart, it's gonna get mighty cold in here soon. You better make your move. I'm in hell. I'm only one person.
The alcoholic takes another swig.
Yeah, he does.
I know. You're bugged because we ruined your trip, right? Spiffy little toy you had there.
A slight tremor perks his eyes and ears. He looks up through the hole, then around. He lights a lighter and cuts it at his hand near the stick of dynamite in his lap.
Ah, but your real hang-up is your looks.
A strong tremor. The adrenaline pumps.
Attaboy, I know you're around.
The floor shakes. McCready stands, his head whirling.
Come on, sucker!
The tractor inches up off the ground. McCready falls forward and looks straight down through the chassis and into the vile and grinning face below. A saw flashes up, splitting the steering wheel but missing his face. He depresses the ignition, bolting the tractor forward 10 feet. He jumps, hanging onto the edge of the hole in the ceiling. The thing's face and arms metal plating of the tractor. The reaching claws just miss him as he pulls himself through. He lights his fuse, drops in the stick, turns and runs. Half of the thing's grotesque and angular torso bolts up through the hole, howling in fury. An appendage springs out, ward and winds or winds around McWeeny's jacket, hissing like the fabric.
We'll let that go.
The hydrogen
I'm
tank
not.
sends a white fireball.
You're not letting it go. Okay.
The thing's body disintegrating almost immediately. The force of the blast already off the roof. He and the severed appendage crash to the hard ice and flames. He rolls over and over, trying to smother the fire and tear off the insidious limb. A ruin. When half of it burned almost to the ground, McCready wears a thick blanket which covers him like a shroud from his shoulders to his floor. He walks bent over and is in much pain, mostly untouched by the fire, but like most of the rest of the camp, exposed to the outside. Close on McCready lighting a cigar. His hands are heavily wrapped. He pours himself a drink. A puffy white hand, missing 2 fingers, enters the frame and whirls a startled McCready around. It is Childs, white and black blotches all over his frostbitten face.
So we were laughing super much.
Did you kill it? Did you kill it? What do you mean you think so?
There's big chunks of ricotta cheese.
I got it.
What?
I'm not hearing Barbara.
Pretty mean frostbite.
Yeah, all right. We're
Childs
definitely
steps
hearing
back,
that.
keeping his distance. He indicates his puffy white hand.
Yeah. It'll turn black again soon enough. Then I guess I'll be losing the whole thing. I think my toes are already gone.
McCready, carrying the bottle and glass, limps over and sits down behind a gaming table. There is a chess set and several decks of cards. The 2 men continue to eye each other.
Yeah.
So you're the only one who made it.
Not the only one. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I hear
Yes.
now. The fire's got the temperature way up all over the camp. Won't last long, though.
Neither will we.
Maybe we should try and fix the radio. Try and get some help.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Well, then we'll never make it.
A little bit louder, Barbara. McCready puffs on a cigar. He relieves a small blowtorch from under the table and places it beside him on top.
Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe.
If you're worried about anything, let's take that blood test of yours.
If we've got any surprises for each other, we shouldn't be in any condition to do anything
Bang!
about it. Do you play chess?
They regard each other for a moment. Childs painfully sits down across from McCready.
Guess I'll be learning.
McCready grins and hands the bottle to Childs. Child smiles back and takes a healthy swig. The fire smolders on. Bright embers dance in the blackness. Why don't we do the actual ending line?
Wait. The actual ending is a line that everybody, all of you know. The line is, why don't we just wait here for a little while and see what happens? Why is that not in the original script? Was that something that they
Barbara,
came up with on the set?
All the good stuff showed up later.
No, when you're working with actors, often actors bring really good stuff to the set, and let's say that was what happened.
Dave's right. Honestly, like we should listen to him.
I mean,
This is the final draft. Is it?
because that last scene was very different than what made it into the movie. So was that something that John Carpenter offered on the set, or was that something that the actors offered on set? I don't know. Does anybody know?
Dave,
Because the last line was, why don't we just wait here for a while? I don't know.
It might have been something that Thing offered to the set.
I don't think this is the final draft, though.
Wait, was that Child's line?
This
Maybe
is
it's
one
not
of
the
the
final
newer
draft.
drafts.
Or was it
Maybe it's not the final draft.
You
Yeah.
also still didn't finish reading the rest.
We haven't finished the script.
Oh, yeah. The fire smolders on. Bright embers dance in the blackness, pushed by the soughing wind. Fade out. The end.
All right.
That is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We got through it, which is always an ordeal. And
Well done, everyone. Well
done, everybody.
Half hour.
This script was 120 pages. How long are normal scripts usually for an hour and a half movie or so? I don't know. Drew McWeeny, what do you say? How long are they usually?
anywhere between 90 and 100, 110.
90 and 100.
98. But this has a lot of action, a lot of stage direction.
A lot of dogs.
The action.
Fucking dogs.
A lot of the dog
thing,
stuff.
the snowmobile,
and a lot of going back to the Norwegian.
Why do we hear
a whole lot of uses of the word thing?
Is there an echo for some reason?
There's some other stuff we're hearing. Now it's gone.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna do some quick plugs really quick. Join us Wednesday, May 27th at 7:30 p.m. That's this coming Wednesday. We are reading John Hughes' The Breakfast Club. Streaming live on our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/scriptsgonewild. Please subscribe to us there. You can check out all of our weekly live reads, which are up now. You like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We're at @scriptsgonewild across the board. Also, you can consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/scriptsgonewild, or you can support the Chattanooga Film Festival. Go to chatfilmfest.org/donate and help them keep going for another year, forever years, because it really is the coolest film festival in the South and one of the coolest film festivals in the fucking world. So do all of those things that I just told you to do. And I'm going to give you the rundown of our amazing cast one more time. Give it up for Barbara Crampton. Tracie Thoms. Caroline Williams.
Woo!
Chris Cargill.
Yeah.
McWeeny.
Yeah.
Grant. Tiffany Shepis.
Yeah.
Leilani Barrett.
Yeah.
Tim Skipper.
Yeah.
Rico Anderson.
Yeah.
Izzy Lee. Chris.
Yeah.
Caroline's designated drinker, Alexis Iacano.
Yes.
Well done, Alexis.
Dave.
Well done, Alexis.
Well done. Dave, final thoughts?
Here's the thing.
Can we also thank Satan?
Oh, wait.
Absolutely, yeah, no, of course. Yeah, you can always
Of course,
thank me.
Bubs.
Yeah,
Of course, Bubs.
If you're asking about thanking me, always. It's always appropriate. In fact, not only appropriate, mandatory. Please hail me.
Hail Bubs.
Hail Satan. Hail Satan.
Thank you.
Dave, final thoughts.
You know what? This was an all-star cast. You all did a wonderful job. Every time that Graham had to rub his chest, it made me happy. So thank you. We should have more scripts where Graham rubs his chest. That's my final thoughts.
Well, thank you, all of our readers. Thank you, Chattanooga Film Festival. Thank you, all the people who tuned in for that madness. And that's all she wrote.
Thank you, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Dave. We got to talk about your performance there, man. What's up?
What's up, man? How can I help?
Well, I mean, I was just watching you the whole time. I mean, there were a lot of other squares going on, but I was particularly looking at you, and, buddy, are you okay? Are you good?
Yeah, I still got half a bottle of Chattanooga whiskey.
Is that...
and then another two bottles behind me. So I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm gonna make it through one more day.
All right, man. Well, hey, we haven't had a lot of time to catch up. Stuff's been pretty hectic, so why don't you just kind of fill us in on what Dave's doing? What's Dave up to?
I mean, honestly, I'm pretty excited because this ends my requirements for being on camera, and I can spend all day tomorrow watching the wonderful films that CFF is offering this year. I'm really, really, really excited about it. That's what I'm going to be doing all day tomorrow.
Dave, shit-faced and still plugging. I love it. It's just a treat to see. It really is. It really is. Honestly, we watched a lot of pros work tonight, but what you just did, dog, that was masterful.
Well, you know, that's my gift and my curse. What can I say?
Yeah. Yep.
Bubs, hey Bubs, do me a favor.
Yep. Whatever, dude.
Have a drink for me tonight.
Yes, I will have several. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, John. John's helping me out. Hey, appreciate y'all. Scripts Gone Wild. Dave Lawson, Chattanooga motherfucking Film Festival. Really doing it. Really, really doing it. Dave, any parting words before we send us out for the night?
You know what? Honestly, all I can say is thank you for everybody that bought a badge. You know, CFF is something that is it's so special to me, and it's so special to a lot of filmmakers. And it was heartbreaking when the actual festival went away, and the amount of work that was done behind the scenes to get this going, and then the support that's come out of it. Man, it literally warms my heart, and that's why I'm always down to come help, because it's fucking wonderful. And as much as people need CFF, filmmakers need CFF as well to put out their movies, and that's why we do it. And so this is great. Thank you.
That is why we do it. You just made Chris Dortch cry. He says, "Dave, you motherfucker, you just made me cry. I'm about to be laughing."
You know what? That's my goal every day, is to make Chris Dortch cry, whether it's happiness or sadness. It's my
mission accomplished. Hey, y'all, Script's gone wild. Thank you guys for coming out and going wild.
Hey, man.
Really just glad to be a part of it. All right, let's send it out. Hit the bumper. 3, 2, 1, hit it.